Welcome, everyone, to the Quarters 2022. The Quarters is a celebration. It is a culmination of the films of this year,
Huh?
and nominations and awardations will
Oh.
follow, and quarters will be earned.
Yes.
Welcome, everyone, to Quarters. This is our award show for every movie we saw in 2022. It comprises films and awards and nominations and such of the like
Yes.
from the Oscars mostly, our specific categories overarching.
Yes.
From things such as costume design to editing to screenplays and acting, all alike.
Yes.
Winners will be awarded, and some funny, maybe not so much awards will be awarded as well
Yes.
to people who
Suck.
failed. People who failed
Yeah.
to create the art they dreamed about.
That's right.
I am one of your hosts, Joshua.
And I am Jordan.
Yes, the other host, Jordan.
Yes. Here I
We
am.
are the Quarter Twins. We represent 25% of one person,
I dropped it.
sort of, mathematically speaking. And these are our awards.
Yes. Yes. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back from the commercial break. Yes, we are your hosts, the Quarter Twins, and we are here to award things to people.
Ain't that the truth?
As many of you know, we have many categories, and you, the listener, you, the viewer, have had the opportunity this past week to vote for all of our nominations. We have a certain number of categories, which I did not count ahead of time. I don't know how many categories there are, but we have a bunch, and there's 4 nominations, perhaps even 5.
15
For
by my count.
15
Plus-
categories,
plus our
4
extra ones.
nominations each. And you all voted. I have an opinion. Joshua has an opinion. And so there will be many awards given. Here's how this is going to work. We're going to go through each category. We're
Mhm.
going to kind of explain what the category is, means, and believes. And we are going to discuss each of the nominations from a personal standpoint, our relationship with the film, actor or actress, or editor in some cases, or screenwriter.
We don't actually have the names of the editors. That's okay.
Yeah, but I know them all personally because I am a
Oh,
part
yes.
of the. We are
We're part of the industry.
in the industry. Yes.
Mhm.
And here's what's going to happen. We're going to reveal the total number. Well, not the total number, but who won the award according to you, the audience, and who won the award according to me, and who won the award according to Joshua. And in which case, if Joshua and I disagree, we're going to flip our quarters to
Mhm.
decide the final winner, because that's on theme, as you
Yes.
would say. So should we just jump into it? I mean, just get comfy.
we?
Just get comfy. Reminisce with us over this past
Get
year.
your popcorn.
Get your popcorn. Get your a nice bevy. I didn't have time, but I was gonna make a little cocktail so I could be sipping something
Oh.
fancy for this occasion.
I have the least fancy cup of all time.
Dickie's barbecue pit. Come
Let's
on
go.
down.
Yeehaw.
Oh.
Welcome, everyone.
I had to get that off my chest.
Out of your stomach.
Yeah, it was
More
really
like.
bothering me. It was earlier when you were introing and you were like, "I'm Joshua," and and you pointed at me, and I really had
You're
to
like,
burp, but I made it through. But it was sitting there waiting to get out.
Ay, ay, ay.
Okay, now we're loose.
What's our first category? Golly.
Our first category is best costume design.
Costume
Most
design.
of these films had but one costume designer or a team of costume designers. As a little anecdote, a costume designer is responsible for creating, assembling, designing, curating, and or purchasing costumes for a film. These films had especially beautiful costumes and are being recognized as such. The nominees for Best Costume Design are Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Glass Onion, The Batman, and Black Adam, parentheses joke.
Oh no.
Everybody laughs.
The whole theater is cracking up,
Yes.
except
And
for Dwayne.
I'm going to look at these, the result in Best Costume Design. At 0%, we have Black Adam.
Ooh.
Audience erupts. At 14%, we have The Batman. At 29%, we have Glass Onion. And at 57%, we have Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
So
who won the audience vote?
let me just... I have an envelope here that have been handed from off stage.
Is it going to be?
Pause for dramatic effect.
Yes.
Even though I already said it.
Yep.
The winner is Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
Wow, yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Maybe do the percentages after next time.
Yeah, I forgot. I didn't think that through. We were also going to talk about all of the films.
We can talk about them now.
I saw all 4 of these.
I also saw 4 of these.
You know, unironically, Black Adam, not Black Panther. Black Adam actually had some nice costumes. I really like Dr. Fate's costume. I thought Hawkman's costume was pretty awesome. That being said, it's a bad movie. So
therefore,
just put that aside. The Batman had some great costumes, particularly the Penguin played by Colin Farrell. Everything that goes
the makeup
that goes along with his makeup, and he's unrecognizable, which is fantastic. Do you have any thoughts on the Batman costume? You said the Riddler was.
I think the Riddler is very good. It's not very. It's very realistic, I would say. It's like stuff he found on these army surplus stores.
Mm-hmm.
It looks very put together by a psychopath.
Yes.
He
saran wraps his head.
Yeah.
Which is pretty whack. Freaking Jim Gordon is just wearing like what I'm wearing right now all the time. He's always looking good. Jeffrey Wright is screaming at things. Put your goddamn hands up.
Put your goddamn hands in the air.
He's so good.
Open your eyes.
What are you showing me?
Give me.
It's so good. No hablo español, fellas. I really love the costumes in Glass Onion. I think Daniel Craig's little swimsuit outfit, as we talked about last week, is just adorable, and all the costumes are just so fun.
Yes. Shout out Jenny Egan. That's the one costume designer I know.
Oh yeah, Jenny Egan.
Yes.
I love that no matter what Dave Bautista is wearing, he's just a truck of a man, and he looks ridiculous all the time. Mm-hmm. Did you have any standout costumes from Glass Onion?
Well, I was gonna say his like gun holster Speedo that Dave Bautista had was a great one.
Yes, incredible.
I really liked everything that Leslie Odom Jr. wore. It was very fashionable.
Very
I liked
stylish.
his beanie that had a snapback on the back of it.
Yep.
That was dope.
He's a cool guy.
Catherine Hahn wore beige the whole time.
Yeah.
Everyone else is like very fancy, formal stuff, and she's just wearing beige.
She's very beige.
Which I thought was funny.
And yeah, Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Some very strong costumes. Most notable, probably, most notable Queen Ramonda and all of her fancy headdresses and things.
3D printed headdresses and stuff.
And all of the like Dora Milaje and Winston Duke.
Everyone
what's his
in
character's
Wakanda.
name? M'Baku. Yeah, everybody, all of the tribes have very specific styles, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Reveal your winner, Joshua.
Yes, my winner of the award. I also have an envelope.
Here's a cooler envelope.
Joshua's winner for best costume design is Black Panther.
Wow.
Wakanda Forever.
I think that's a great choice. I'm gonna read my envelope. The
my
winner is Glass Onion for Jordan's.
Wow.
I just love the costumes in Glass Onion. I can't really give you any more reasons other than I love them. And I want that swimsuit Daniel Craig has. It's so
I'm
cool.
sure you could buy it.
Especially made by this costume designer. I'm sure it's like $1 million.
$1 million?
Like $1 million. Yeah.
Wow.
What's
Daniel
our next
Craig got it all
category?
We got to flip a coin.
Oh, that's right.
Come on, dude.
I
What's
forgot.
going on here?
I read this one, so let me flip for it.
I'm heads, by the way. We didn't discuss this earlier.
Yes.
I will be representing the heads side of the coin as I was
Mr. George
born
Washington.
first.
And I will be representing the Tuskegee Airmen.
Oh! The Tuskegee
No
Airmen
way.
are on the march once
march
again.
Once again.
I have Hawaii.
If anybody
so
comments,
shout
comment
out.
on the YouTube video if you know what that's from.
The Tuskegee Airmen are on the march.
On the march.
1 second.
1 second. Okay, I'm gonna flip for it. Here we go.
What a flip.
Glass Onion takes it.
No!
Look at
The
that.
audience erupts in anger.
Proof. Tails. It
Wow.
is.
Congratulations to Glass Onion.
All great nominations. Well done, everybody. Give us our next
done.
category there,
Congratulations.
Josh.
Our next category is Best Production Design.
What's that?
Production design is the art of creating a film's aesthetic through its set, and production designers are the architects of a film setting. These films had especially unique and immersive production design, and are being recognized as such. The nominees for Best Production Design are Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Top Gun: Maverick,
Ooh.
Andor,
Huh?
and Benicio del Toro's Pinocchio. Now, a lot of Pinocchio movies came out this year. I saw none of them.
Oh, no.
So I cannot speak to Del Toro's Pinocchio or
Yes.
Tom Hanks's Pinocchio
It's not
or
that
that
one.
other one that was fully animated. Father, when can I get to be on my own?
Yeah, the yassified
Yes.
Pinocchio.
I didn't see any of them. So, and I didn't see Top Gun Maverick either. So I'm just really not great here in this specific one.
That's all right.
You go ahead and tell me I'll announce the vote for the people,
Okay, yes.
and then you can give the percentages this time so that
Yes.
it's better in this respect.
Yeah.
The winner of the fan vote, the listener vote. So you're not my fans. You're mostly my family members. The winner for
Fans.
Best Production Design, voted by you, the people, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Woo! Yeah, Black Panther had a lot of great aesthetic, I would say.
Mhm.
And all the sets and everything.
We didn't even talk about Namor and the underwater people and the costume design. That's all very
They had
good
very
too.
cool costumes.
Telecom.
Yeah, Wakanda Forever took it away with 57%. Glass Onion behind at 29%. Nope, this is the wrong poll.
Wrong poll.
Wakanda Forever took it away with 47%.
Oh.
Followed closely behind by Top Gun Maverick. Andor is crying in the corner with 6%.
Oh.
And Del Toro's Pinocchio got 12%. So yeah, I'll speak to Del Toro's Pinocchio because I have seen it. Beautiful
thing.
film. Definitely recommend everybody go watch that Pinocchio on Netflix. Don't watch the Tom Hanks one. Don't watch the yassified one unless you want to, because I'm fine with that.
We should do a commentary track on that.
We should. We really should. Yeah, Del Toro's Pinocchio is stop motion animated. I don't remember the kid's name that plays Pinocchio, but
Unlucky.
this Pinocchio story is supposedly, I had to burp again. I'm burpy right now. Supposedly, this Pinocchio story is closer to the original concept of the story whenever it was written in the 40s or whatever,
1700.
because 1700 something. I don't know, but this story revolves around France during World War II and Nazis and stuff. What's his name? Mussolini makes an appearance. That's a true fact. Mussolini is in this Pinocchio movie, and Pinocchio throws poop at him or something. I don't remember what. Poop had something to do with that scene. It was very funny. But it is a
You
very
sure you saw
beautiful
this
film.
movie?
I definitely
I
did.
think I would have remembered if poop was involved.
It's very mystical. I'm not even talking about the production design, but I'm trying to sell you on this movie. There's a lot of mystical aspects to it. Lots of great commentary on faith and religion, and breaking down guys like why fascism is lame and why we shouldn't do that, and
Fascism is lame.
because people die and stuff. But overall, I mean, production design, you're looking at something that's stop motion animated, and just the years of work that these guys took to build all of these tiny little sets and all these tiny little guys and all of this stuff is really cool. And that's why I thought it was a worthy nomination. Yeah. And then moving on for now, Andor. Which didn't get any votes really.
Yes.
What's your opinion on the production design of Andor?
I think first and foremost, production design is a large faceted world building, so automatically one of my stronger categories.
Yes.
And Andor featured many planets in Star Wars, many new planets, as well as returning to older planets at a different time in the galaxy's history. Namely Coruscant, and being able to see all of these beautiful sets and the work put into the background of these sets, the prison, everything that's happening there, the worlds that they build. This is the world building category, if you will.
Yes.
Not literally, but in a way. They are the true artists. The physical artists of the movie, and Andor represents the sci-fi-esque aesthetic, which is one of my favorites, and this show is able to convey many different cultures through its building design and through the nature that the worlds occupy, and all of the facets of reality they are able to portray on multiple planets, which I thought was worthy of a nomination.
Absolutely. Following it up with Top Gun Maverick.
Planes.
It's got some great stuff. All of the, obviously it's a lot easier to do sets when you're doing it on a real place that is the Top Gun base, and as a part of the Navy, they're doing a lot of real stuff. And there's been a lot of talk about all of the we're back. Sorry about that, everybody. We had some technical difficulties. Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars. And
oh my gosh. Not again.
We had to shut that thing down. He insulted my wife. Anyway.
Keep your wife's name out your mouth.
Ridiculous person. I was talking about Top Gun Maverick. There's a lot of real planes, real jets, and sets, and they're on real helicarriers, but that's not a real thing. They're on real boats with airplanes on them.
Helicarriers.
And I can't even
Aircraft
imagine. Aircraft carriers. The amount of work that went into... I mean, it's obviously they're real things, but then you also have to make it look like a movie. And all of the... You're getting these actors in actual planes. The only actor that's actually flying their plane is Tom Cruise, but all of these actors are in planes that are being flown by actual Top Gun pilots, and all these actors have to like set their camera by themselves and like get all the lighting right by themselves because they're up in a freaking plane,
Right.
and all of that, and they have to make it look freaking great, and it does look really good. That's why I put it on here because it looks freaking amazing all of the time.
A
So
lot of GoPros, probably.
lot of stuff. Those cockpits are filled with cameras. And then of course the winner of the audience vote, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Yes.
That's some
They
great
saw
production
it.
design, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, as we already said, with the costume design, and with Andor, the world building is a crucial part of the production design, and creating areas for the funerals that occur in the movie, and
Yep.
the garage with all the mechanical stuff inside. They get to go on to the University of, was it MIT, I think, that they
think so,
visit?
yeah. That's what we said.
Their campus as well. Creating an underwater city.
Yes.
Um,
Obviously,
it-
Wakanda as a whole.
Wakanda. They go to Talokan. They go to Haiti. I mean, they're all over the
Mexico.
world.
Mhm.
Mexico. It's all very much. It's very well done, and a lot of work went into making sure that the cultures felt real, even though, and most of them are based in reality, of course, but they are taking on sort of a fantastical element in some cases, which still feel realistic, which is something I think the MCU has done since 2009, has been able to make
Sure.
these fantastical things seem real. Maybe not in this one. This one over here,
No,
Thor:
yeah.
Love and Thunder. Maybe not in that
Definitely not.
one. But pretty much everything else, I would say. They've done a good job of
Yeah.
making the fantastic feel real, which is something the production design works very hard to achieve in this
Yes.
respect.
Mm-hmm.
So I will speak my winner
Oh,
for Best Production Design.
drum roll, please.
Goes into Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. They're sweeping right now.
I'm getting my results from
Oh.
my stagehand over here,
Yes.
which is my cat Goose, who's sitting right next to me. And the winner is, according to me, Guillermo del Toro. I just realized you said Benicio del Toro earlier.
Oh,
It's Guillermo.
dang
I
it.
forgot. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Sorry, Guillermo. That's what I didn't
just
see the
think-
movie. What can I say?
I just think incredible, staggering what they did with that film. It looks amazing. So there's that. I'm not gonna forget this time. We gotta flip a quarter.
Yes, flip a quarter for me.
I am tails. You flip
Actually,
this
it should
time.
be. I'll flip this quarter.
You flip this one.
Again, I am heads.
I'm
and
still
Jordan is
tails.
tails.
Yep. Whoa.
The winner is certifiable proof. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Very nice.
That is
showing.
heads coin.
Very, very good.
Congratulations to them. Jordan, our next category. Congratulations to the audience for picking correctly. Well
There
done.
was a correct answer, and you got it.
You nailed it.
The next category is Best Original Screenplay.
Best original screenplay.
A screenplay is the script of a movie, including acting instructions and scene directions. These films had especially brilliant screenplays and are being recognized as such. The nominees for Best Screenplay are The Batman, Andor, Glass Onion, and Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Actually, the crowd is completely silent because no one's heard of this movie.
It's one of those rare instances where like a lot of people saw it. And I think it is actually in the race for Best Picture in the actual Oscars, which would be cool to see.
It was
because-
shortlisted I don't think they have the official nominations out yet.
Yeah, that's true. Not official, but we can reveal the winner of the audience vote. Or do you want to? Should we talk about them and then reveal?
Okay, yeah, I guess that's.
We're
fair.
figuring this out. We're already talking
We'll
about
talk about
everything
them first.
everywhere. I think it performed extremely well for an Asian female lead action movie from A24, a studio nobody knows about unless you're like us and are like really into films. Because most people don't pay attention to studios. They're just like,
I suppose.
That film looks a certain way or feels a certain way. It's an artsy movie, or
Mhm.
whatever people say. But yeah, it did very well.
A
at the
film
box
by
office.
film nerds.
Yeah, two Daniels.
The Daniels.
The Daniels. I thought it was really good. I saw it when it came out, and I'm not quite on the hype train that everyone else is on. I thought it was very good. I did think it was a little bit long, and was like, okay. But that being said, I do believe it's definitely worthy of a nomination for Best Original Screenplay, because it is very original in a lot of ways.
Indeed.
It takes a lot of what's the word? Creative. It makes a lot of creative choices that you don't expect to see all the time in an action movie such as this, and very, very creative use of. It's not time travel. It's like it's multiverse stuff.
Multiversal travel.
In a year where we got Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, you got lots of multiverse stuff in the Marvel universe, and then we get this, which does it in a very different way, very creative way, and all of that kind of comes down to the script and the screenplay, and the script is really, really good. In regards to the theme of the movie being. I haven't seen it in a while. You saw it more recently than I have.
Yeah.
The dynamic between a mother and a daughter and all of that sort of thing, and even the father
And a husband and a wife.
And a husband and a wife. Yes. Yeah. What do you like about the screenplay in Everything Everywhere?
Well, you hit the nail on the head that it's unique and takes creative liberties.
Yes.
With its ideas. I think it has a lot of great ideas. And the multiversal travel is a conduit for... have you ever seen that Rick and Morty episode where they put on the goggles and they get to see all of their other lives? And, of course, they find all these amazing lives they could have lived if they just didn't marry this person or they didn't make this one choice and blah, blah, blah. And you can think about your entire life in this way, like, oh, there's so many regrets, right? If things just went this other way, I could have been a famous movie star. I could have been the CEO of a company or whatever, right?
Sure.
And so this movie uses that alongside many other pieces, the familial relationships, that come into play, and uses multiversal travel to create multiple dynamics between the same characters, which I think is very interesting. And the script never made me feel confused. The way that the characters act differently in the same body makes it obvious enough to me which version of that person it is that's talking, even if they just show up in the same room. So I would say that is why it is worthy of this nomination.
Sure. We have Glass Onion, which just recently came out, as we talked about last week again. Yeah, I think I really enjoy the screenplay and the script. Obviously, it's a mystery, so it takes a lot of work to kind of hide things from the audience in certain ways and put people in places at certain times and make sure everything's kind of in the right position to make everything kind of click at the end. So I think it's inherently a little bit more difficult to write something like that where you're intentionally deceiving your audience like a magician. Like you're showing them one thing to try to get them to look away from something else.
Well, and also, it's interesting because Rian Johnson especially will hide things while especially in this movie, I will say, he's giving you the answers,
Yes.
but hiding them under the layers of
Exactly.
the onion.
Yes. It must be. So I don't want to sound like I know how difficult it is. It must be so difficult to do.
It must be.
To hide things from you while keeping them in plain sight, so that when at the end he says, "Look, it was there all along," you believe him, and he's not just lying to you the whole time. He's
Mhm.
like he's putting like if you are looking for it, you can probably figure it out. I would say. And I just there's a lot of relevant commentary in the script. Ryan Johnson has talked in interviews about how he wanted to take the style of like an Agatha Christie mystery, but present it in a modern context, because he's kind of talking about how for many years people kind of approached murder mystery as a genre as something that happened in the past, and so a lot of those movies are like take place in the in the 40s or the 50s or something like that, but he's trying to bring it into a modern context, and I think he does that really well. And there's a lot of relevant commentary about things and people that happen in real life, and it's ridiculous. So
very true, very true. And he's done it twice.
It's
now.
good stuff. He has done it twice now.
And Daniel
He's
Craig
a really
says
good writer.
he'll do it as many times as he can.
Yeah.
So
And that's
be prepared for more Knives Out stories.
Love it. Andor.
Speaking
What
of
about
relevant commentaries on today's world, our next nominee is Andor.
What are you talking about?
What are you not talking about? Come on.
That Andor is Star Wars. Star Wars isn't political.
Dude, I laugh every time I see someone tweet that. Because, I mean, I don't know
Star
if
Wars
you
is
saw
for
it.
kids. It's not supposed to be political.
There's this interview a couple of years ago of George Lucas, the guy who made Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
He created this world, and
Sure.
he talks about being a young guy in college, complaining about the world he lived in and being angry at the world, and a young rebel himself fighting against the empire
Yes.
of the world and all the wars that took place back then and everything. And how the small, disorganized groups, the Viet Cong, the American Revolution, these groups, I mean, he wasn't around for the American Revolution, but he was around for Vietnam.
Right.
And these small, disorganized groups were able to take down huge empires and win wars against these huge empires, as I said.
Yes.
And so I think here is an example of a show that is the very essence of that idea that he started with in A New Hope.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that Andor represents the more serious half. I fully agree that Star Wars has these goofy moments, and they are part of the Star Wars legacy, and I think that they're important to keep in the Star Wars universe, but they don't have to be in every aspect of the medium. So we have a show here, Andor, that is able to convey the very obvious message in the original 3 films. And quick cameo there.
Yeah.
Great. And without necessarily leaving all of the humor that is normally in Star Wars.
Yeah, for sure. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think Andor does a lot with its screenplay and its script. Lots of, I mean, Cassian Andor as a character doesn't say a whole lot, but you get a lot from his body language and that sort of thing, which is a lot of a screenplay as well as direction from the director. Direction from the director.
Yes, I should hope so.
And then finally, the final category here, the Batman.
The Batman.
Yeah, thinking about the Batman from the perspective of its script, yeah, I don't know if it. This might just give away my nomination. I don't. I don't know if the script.
Sort of.
If I notice the script as much, there are a couple notable moments, like with Bruce Wayne in the hospital with Alfred, and he's talking about how since he was a kid and he saw his parents die, like he's been fighting this fight because he never wanted to feel that again, and he thought he would never feel that way again, until he felt that way about Alfred when he thought he was dead, and like, you're my real dad. I mean, no, you're not my real dad, but like, you're like a father to me without actually, there's so much that's said in that scene without actually being explicitly said. And that's just a product of a good script when you don't, it's kind of like show, don't tell. But like the words used are used in a way, in a sort of poetry.
To rhymes.
Yes. Yeah, I think it is a really good screenplay. I also relevant commentary about certain aspects of internet age and kind of hyper activism and the dangers that can be, like with the Riddler being kind of a what would you call it? Just kind of like an online personality, fringe personality that
far
kind
right
of
political system.
These
the echo chambers. That's
Yes.
something I've heard a lot of people use, is that these people move away from mainstream media and they follow their confirmation bias until they are in this tiny little group of people that believe exactly as they do. And they end up doing crazy things, like attacking Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, and even a group like that where it's not hundreds of people. It's 20 tops.
Yeah.
But even that many people, if being led by somebody as insane as somebody like the Riddler in this movie, can be extremely dangerous, with this kind of extremism of belief. And yeah, that's a good script, I guess. So the the audience vote has just arrived in my hand.
Oh, fantastic news.
Yeah. They heard us talking about it. The winner for Best Original Screenplay in a Motion Picture Event is The Batman, according to you, the audience.
The Batman.
Oh yeah,
hit us with those percentages.
You guys, you voted for the Batman. Is it because you only saw the Batman? I'm not gonna claim that's true. The Batman won with 42%, followed by Everything Everywhere All at Once with 25%, and Andor and Glass Onion both with 17% of your vote. So yeah, everybody loves the Batman out there, including me. Great film.
Very good film. Very good movie.
What's your vote over there, man?
I just got my vote in from the desk. That's my stagehand. I don't have a stagehand.
That's all right.
The winner, in my opinion, of Best Original Screenplay is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Woo! Why?
Why?
Why is it better?
I just told you why.
Yeah.
I went into great detail.
You loved it. You loved it.
I really did. I liked that movie quite a bit. Your winner?
Yes, I'm just. It's just arriving here.
Oh,
we're getting it sent in. It's like a carrier pigeon or an owl from Hogwarts or whatever. You know how that movie goes. Oh,
I got it.
The winner, in my opinion, of Best Original Screenplay is Andor.
Oh,
so we have a spread. I think the reason the Andor beats everything for me is just because of how freaking mind-blowing it was for me to be mind-blown by a freaking Star Wars thing. And unlike another Star Wars thing that came out, which we may talk about later. Who's to say? I don't know. I don't really want to talk about it.
In the Best Picture conversation.
Yeah. Anyway, what's the next?
Maybe not.
What's the next category?
I'm gonna have to flip this coin.
Oh,
since
I keep
you can't
forgetting.
remember to flip the coin.
I just
Okay.
feel like whenever I say my nomination, that's just the end of the conversation.
You're right. You're like, yeah, this is
Oh
correct.
wait, no, I need to flip it. You flip the last one.
Oh
Give me
yeah,
this.
you flip it. Well, I was gonna flip it because you can't remember.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember now. Here I go.
What happens if the fan vote can't win the coin toss?
Well, the fan vote wins. You guys win everything. But we're just flipping for our own benefit.
I see.
The winner was indeed Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Heads for the winner. Great
Very
job,
deserving.
guys. Well done.
Well done.
I am 2 for 3.
We have so many categories. We got to get this show on the road. They're giving
What are
us
you even talking about?
They're giving us the wrap-up music over here.
We're not even halfway. Slow your roll. And listen to this beautiful music offered by the following films in this next category.
Whoa.
Thank you.
Whoa.
You are presenting. Oh no, I'm presenting.
I did the last
this
one,
category.
man. Jeez.
Dang it, you're right. Oh jeez.
Chill out.
Ah man, oh jeez. I set myself up.
Golly
But it
gee.
wasn't- Okay, here we go. This next category is original score. Best original score. These movies. Well, okay. We ran out of paragraphs.
Yeah, it's music.
These are scores are specific pieces of music or orchestral mostly that were created for the TV or film that they are representing.
Yes.
By original composers creating original music for this movie specifically. These scores are very good and are being recognized as such.
Yes, they
The
are.
nominees for Best Original Score are The Batman, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Avatar 2, and Glass Onion. Okay, The Batman is
We've talked about in
composed-
depth
yes,
the Batman before.
yes. Very true, very true. Was composed by Michael Giacchino, one of the big three, in my opinion. Soon to
Okay.
be the big four. I think Ludwig is getting in there.
Oh, yes, he is
Very, very good. Very good. The Batman was composed by Michael Giacchino. Very simple theme, followed by Sonata in Darkness, which is one of the... It's like 9 minutes long.
Mhm.
There's piano, there's violin. It's sweeping, it's beautiful, it's hopeful in a sea of despair and horrible Gotham. And
Yes.
every song is in the same key, and they matched the key to a song in the soundtrack. There's a lot of difficult work put into the
Yes.
score of this film. You have any other words to say, Jordan?
No, man, it's really good. It's on... It was on my best or my favorite scores list for sure.
That is true.
Was it on yours too? Or
I think
just
it
mine?
was as well. I think
Yeah.
we matched up in like 7th place or something. It was
Yeah.
one
yeah.
of those things where it just
I
ended
love
up
it.
there.
Yeah. Simple yet great.
Thought-provoking.
Thought-provoking. The Riddler's theme is a reharmonization of Ave Maria, and I'll never stop saying it, and it's fantastic. There are other ones too.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
This was actually orchestrated, arranged, written, and composed
Mhm,
by
mhm.
Ludwig Göransson.
Yes.
Up-and-coming composer, film composer. Very, very good work here. Able to convey, as I've said, through the production design, able to convey the cultures of these fantastic worlds, base them in reality, and it helps to make them feel real, which is something I think is very powerful when a movie about fake things becomes real. Obviously, some movies are based in reality, or documentaries, which are literal reality. But this is a sci-fi, fantasy, action thriller, and none of it's real, and yet I
Mhm.
believe every single moment of it.
Yes.
And that is in part due to the creative work of Ludwig Göransson.
he is great at what he does. He did the first one too, right? And he's done The Mandalorian, right? I think is
Yes, he
him.
did at least the main theme for Mandalorian
Yeah.
and Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, I really like the score for Black Panther. It adds a lot to the material. I listened to the song that plays over when Letitia Wright comes down from the airplane in the Black Panther suit and is like, "Ban."
Oh, yeah. I think that song is called Wakanda Forever.
It's called Wakanda Forever. That's right. It's really, really good and adds a lot to that scene. Avatar: The Way of Water is basically the first movie's score.
Yes. Which is good.
It's really good. Yeah, it's really good.
It's otherworldly. I watched a long video on YouTube describing the way that the chords in the main theme are atypical.
Yes.
The normal chord progression is atypical, and it creates that otherworldly feeling that you get when you visit Pandora.
Mm-hmm.
It's such
Is
a
that
beautiful planet.
A Charles Cornell video over here.
I have no idea.
I think it was. I think we watched.
He
the
stood
same.
in front of piano.
Yeah. I think we watched the same video. Glass Onion's score was written by the same guy who did the first one. I'm a big fan of it in the first one. We talked about it in our episode about Glass Onion, where it's just like, especially that scene where all the characters are getting together on the dock. It's just big and it's sweeping. And that happens a lot where it shows you the big glass onion and it's a huge sweeping score. But yeah, like the first one, it adds a lot to the kind of vibe of the film for sure.
It kind of gives it this noir, heightens the stakes in a way.
Yeah.
It brings a lot of value.
I would say so.
And I'm getting word here.
Oh.
The award by the people has been awarded. Oh, gosh. Hope they didn't see that. The award for Best Original Score by a large majority, I'm told, is Avatar: The Way of Water.
Wow.
Wow.
Like we said, it's pretty good, but it's not a huge margin. Way of Water took it away with 44%. The Batman behind at 33%. Wakanda Forever at 22%, and Glass Onion at 0%.
Oof.
Nobody likes
Brutal.
that movie, I guess.
Everybody hated it.
I hate it.
Ain't it? This just in.
Whoa.
I have my own vote for Best Original Score. It is
No way.
Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Whoa. Wow.
Whoa.
Shocking.
Yes.
There's mine.
Oh,
it fell
my
from the
gosh.
ceiling.
Here it comes.
Wow. Incredible. The Batman. It's amazing.
Wow.
I love it so much. It's the best one. And I'm not going to forget to flip this coin. But it's your turn.
Oh, but it's my turn to flip the coin.
We got to battle it out again because we don't agree on anything.
Yes. That's not true. I think we have one more agreeing.
Yeah, we
Oh,
do.
2 more. Yeah.
It's just a bit.
Okay.
It's just a bit.
Oh, sorry. So heads for Black Panther, tails for the Batman.
Yep. Oh, no.
Another win for George.
No.
What a winner. Black Panther takes away another award.
I thought you loved the Batman score, man.
I love the Batman score, but I don't listen to it anymore.
No.
I listen to Black Panther's score to this day.
That's so sad. Our next category is Best Soundtrack. A soundtrack.
But that's the same as the score.
No, it's not. You're wrong about that. A soundtrack of a movie is music that was not written specifically for that movie. It was a song written by, say, somebody like
Bowling
freaking
for Soup.
Justin Timberlake,
Mm.
and from 2002, and put into this movie in 2022. I don't know, or like something like that.
Even older.
Yeah, it's licensed music from pop artists or whatever artists. It doesn't have to be pop music. It can be any sort of music. That's just put into a film to elicit emotion or theme of a film or just to sound really freaking cool. The best example of this is take Guardians of the Galaxy, for example. Everybody's like, I love the music from Guardians of the Galaxy. Nobody is talking about the score. They're talking about the soundtrack. There is
Sadly, there's some good
there's
scores.
a very prevalent soundtrack in Guardians of the Galaxy that's it's a plot point of the film. But there is also
or Baby
a score.
Driver.
Yes. The score of Guardians of the Galaxy is written by Tyler Bates, and it's very good also. Anyway, all that being said, to clarify, all of these films had notable soundtracks, I guess, and are being recognized as such, I guess. Then the nominations are. I'm getting them from.
Oh, here they come.
Here they come. Here they come. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Bullet Train.
Oh.
The Batman. Something in the Way. And Thor: Love and Thunder.
Would you believe it? I would like to offer one more nomination.
Okay. Go ahead.
We forgot about Stranger Things Season 4.
Oh, yeah. That was a thing.
Running Up That Hill was a cultural phenomenon.
Gosh. If we would have put that... let's just call it right now. That wins.
It would have won the fan vote.
That is the most culturally... it's in the zeitgeist forever now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Congratulations.
That would have taken it away for sure.
Yeah. I just thought of that when you were talking about Thor: Love and Thunder, and I was like, oh, wait. Wow. Here comes this one that definitely would have won.
Would have won if we would have thought about it.
Yeah.
I don't even know what was in Thor: Love and Thunder. I just put it in there because I couldn't think of anything. But apparently you all liked it because you all voted for it. I'm not even gonna bother revealing it. This just in. Thor: Love and Thunder wins the audience vote. I hate that movie. I don't care about the soundtrack. I don't know if there's anything in it. Do you remember any of the soundtrack?
I don't remember a single.
I just remember the song from the trailer. But
oh yeah,
I can't even tell you what it is now.
I know.
Guns N' Roses. Anyway, the Batman has
Copyright.
Something in the Way
over.
by Nirvana or whatever. The naked baby on the cover.
Yep.
Bullet Train has a lot of fun stuff. I couldn't name a single one for you.
Nope.
But it's good though.
Really great category.
I like it in Bullet Train because it's very thematic with like a character who you haven't met yet appears on screen, and they get a little their song is representative of them or whatever. It's kind of fun.
There's a lot of character introductions.
Yeah.
In that movie.
I'm only speeding through this because I can't really talk knowledgeably about any of them except for Black Panther.
Yeah, apparently.
Black Panther's the only one where it's kind of a unique case where a lot of take the last Black Panther, this one, and say Into the Spider-Verse as an example. It's a soundtrack, but also a lot of this music was written for this film specifically.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of contradicts our previous speech about whatever. Music with words, I guess, is the real...
Music with words.
Delineation. Is that a word?
Oh, I think so.
Difference.
I'm going to say yes.
I really enjoy the soundtrack for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever as well as the score. But I think the soundtrack also adds something. A good soundtrack can add something to a movie that a score can't. Into the Spider-Verse is a good example where you learn kind of Miles Morales' personality because you're listening to the music that he's listening to in his headphones and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so you kind of get, while also experiencing the emotions of a scene through this song that Miles is listening to we all experience art in a way that if I'm feeling sad, like there are sad songs that help me access that feeling. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not being very articulate, but
You're articulating beautifully.
you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of stuff in Black Panther that helps me feel emotions. So
Nice.
yeah, it's great, and it's just a really good soundtrack. I know you think
Mhm.
the same. What do you think about
I
it?
do. I would agree. I think the soundtrack, and while it is in a way made for this movie,
Yes, in a way.
Rihanna and oh gosh, what's her name? Tim's, I
Yeah.
think.
Tim's.
They bring, as I've said with the score, they bring the sort of the other half of the Wakanda, culture into
Mhm.
this music, as well as Ludwig Göransson and Fodakush, I think is her
No
name.
idea.
Did the Con la Brisa song
Oh,
that everybody
yes.
really liked, for the Talocan people. Those songs, and I have like 5 or 6 songs that I listen to from that.
Mhm.
Rihanna does the "Lift Me Up" which
Yes.
is sort of her tribute to Chadwick Boseman, who passed away in 2020, I believe. 2020 or 2021?
21, I believe.
2021. Sort of a tribute song to
Didn't know
him, and it's very beautiful. It plays at the end credits. It hits like a truck.
Yeah.
And talking about accessing feelings,
Yep.
it certainly is capable of ripping the feeling out of me and all over my face in the form of tears.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
This just in. You want to open this one together, friend?
We can this time.
Let's open it together. Let's time it right away. Here we go. The winner is
Black
Panther Wakanda Forever. Woo!
It's really
No
good.
coins to flip today.
We all get a quarter.
We all get a quarter. Congratulations.
Except for you guys.
To Rihanna. Shout out Rihanna.
The percentages. Let me just show you.
Oh, yeah. Hit us with the percent.
You all voted for Thor Love and Thunder for some reason. 38% of you did.
Wow. Shocking win.
25%. Actually, second place is tied with Wakanda Forever and Something in the Way at 25%.
Song carried.
Bullet Train got 12%. So
Well, good for them for getting a vote at least, huh?
Yeah.
Somebody knew what we were talking about.
I guess. What's next?
Okay, our
What's
next category, one I am proud to say that I have spent more time specifically looking into when I watch movies this year, is Best Editing.
Ooh.
Editing is all of the transitions from camera shot to camera shot, the timing, the delivery of these, when to use music, how loud it is, the fades, the wipes of Star Wars, the hard cuts, the long takes, choosing which shot to use, which take to use, communicating with your actors and your directors to create the film in its final form. Because, they don't just shoot every scene with one take, here it all is, boom, it's done. It's more like, they finish all the shooting, they have 80 hours of footage or something, 100 hours of footage, and then they condense it all down to Rian Johnson's glorious 85-minute film, if he could, That's his dream, He says 85 minutes. But that rarely happens.
Rarely.
And if you're James Cameron, 9 hours.
Right, yeah. Two different styles.
These are the nominees for Best Editing. Glass Onion, Bullet Train, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. Wow.
Pretty good across the board there, guys.
I think
Pretty
very,
good,
very
pretty
good year for editing. You want to talk about Glass Onion? I'll talk about
Sure.
the bottom two.
Yeah, I think as I kind of talked about in regard to the script and screenplay, there's a lot of kind of magic trickery that the editing has to do, which the directors are heavily involved in the editing process. If you
True.
As far as I know, as somebody in the industry, as
someone who has never directed or edited a film.
Yeah. There, a lot of choices have to be made where, as you said, there are lots of takes to get actors' delivery, actors' performance, while also, in the case of this movie, there's so many little things in the background that need to be there at certain times in certain places, which is all mapped out by a director and all this stuff. But in the edit, you have to place those things at the right place at the right time, those sequences, or, for example, like when, spoilers for Glass Onion. If you haven't seen Glass Onion, skip ahead 20 seconds or something. When Miles Braun, the killer, when Miles Braun
there it
hands,
is. Okay.
yeah, when Miles Braun hands Dave Bautista the glass that he has poisoned with pineapple juice. In the first time we see that scene, you can actually see him hand it to him, but you're being distracted by something else. And then later it's reimagined where he didn't hand Dave Bautista his glass. He sets his own glass at the table, and then Dave Bautista grabs it himself. But then in reality, it shows you it again, and he puts it into his hand, and it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. It's crazy.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
All of that is editing and placement of shots and performances and that sort of thing.
Really?
And there's the very opening scene where they all get their box and they're like on the phone with each other, and they're like, there's a lot of like screen separation where a line will cut in half, and you'll have like people on here.
Sort of comic book panel.
Comic book panels, yeah. Some cool editing there.
Another famous Edward Norton movie, The Incredible Hulk, features many comic book-esque lines dividing them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Strangely. What a weird movie that is.
You like that movie?
Pretty good. I do. It's strange, but I like it a lot. It's a lot better than Thor: Love and Thunder, I'd say.
Well,
a lot better, guys. That's my take.
I do have a poster. You want to talk about Bullet Train? I'll do the bottom two.
Yeah, sure. I saw Bullet Train pretty recently. Well, I saw it when it came out, but I saw it again recently over Christmas. On Netflix, right? It's on Netflix. Everybody go watch Bullet Train.
Very good.
It is.
Brad Pitt.
It's pretty violent, but viewer discretion is advised. And yeah, it's on a bullet train. Obviously, it's called that. And there's lots of fun editing choices. It does that thing where like characters get little name cards. And they pop on screen, and it'll be like freeze frame and Japanese characters, the prince and blah blah blah. This is about them, stuff like that. And yeah, lots of very well edited action scenes. Because
big point of the movie for me.
Yeah. Because of, obviously, as I said, it's on a bullet train, and it's a narrow tube, and you gotta have these big action sequences somehow in a tube. And that's a lot. Editing has a lot to do with that, I would imagine, as somebody in the industry who edits action sequences all the time, as I do. It's got to be hard.
Sort of eliminating the feeling of claustrophobia of being in a small tube, while also at some times forcing that feeling of a tight space where they hit the wall every time they swing a sword or, what have you. Or they're able to hide behind all these chairs. And it makes the tube feel a little bit bigger. They're able to hide or something like that. That's more action direction. But the editing is able to make those feelings. All right, man.
Yeah.
Everything Everywhere All at Once. This is a multiverse traveling movie. Many times there are shots of someone's face traveling through every multiversal reality that they exist in. In a matter of seconds, you'll see hundreds of frames of individual faces. This goes to the costume design, which wasn't nominated for, but they have to create, potentially hundreds of different versions of the same person that feel different and unique while also being the same person.
Yeah.
And there's a specific shot that I watched, Notes on a Scene by the Daniels directors on Vanity Fair. Just an amazing series, by the way, that Vanity Fair puts together.
It is great.
With these directors, and they talk about, so there's a scene of the van, and Ke Huy Quan is on one side of the van, and Michelle Yeoh is on the other side of the van. Ke Huy was shot on set, and Michelle Yeoh was shot on green screen in London because of COVID, right? So they're half and half. One of them isn't in the scene both times they're acting. The other person isn't there. And then there's a shot looking out the driver's side door towards Michelle Yeoh, and you see, dude, I forget her name every time, and I want to call her Sarah Jessica Parker, and I know that's wrong.
That's not it. Yeah.
It's 3 names. She was in Knives Out. I can't ever remember her name. Jamie Lee Curtis. Thank you so much. Jamie Lee
Curtis.
Her hand comes into the door, and she hits the door and grabs her shoulder through the door. And when she pulls her, it rotates Michelle Yeoh. And when her shoulder hits like the halfway point, it switches environments, and she turns around, and she's in a different room, and there's Jamie Lee Curtis. Mm-hmm. But in reality, it was the director's hand, because she wasn't on set that day either, because she only had to be there for her hand. So they gave him half a shirt and the wrist brace and was like, that's Jamie Lee Curtis's hand, and boom. And so you have all these different pieces of this movie working together. And it's a very small team. I think like 40 or 50 people worked on the whole movie. And maybe like 3 or 4 editors, maybe. And they're able to work this whole thing out on a low budget, the A24 budget, as you would say.
Yes.
And I just think it's masterfully done in that regard. And then we have Multiverse of Madness, another multiverse movie.
Yes.
And I think what people are seeing in the editing here is, again, the multiversal madness effect of, people being ripped apart into new universes and being able to imagine these places. I will say I think it goes more into visual effects in this specific case. I don't know if I can think of any specific match cuts.
I would even say...
Perhaps through the portals of America's portal, you can see, multiple Elizabeth Olsen's.
Olsen's, yes. I would even say I think a lot of what people notice about Multiverse of Madness is just the camera freaking moves instead of just being boring. And Sam Raimi actually moves the camera in interesting ways, which impresses people. Like it twists and turns and does cool things that you don't normally see in Marvel movies. And I think people notice that, whether they could put their finger on it or not. Because this just in.
Oh, here it is. My word.
Or actually, I guess you should reveal. I'm actually sending it over to you.
There it is.
Wow.
The best editing by way of the people is Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. Don't mean to talk down on your opinion, but
a sweep
it wasn't
with
my opinion.
62% of you chose Multiverse of Madness.
Wow.
Bullet Train got 25%. Everything Everywhere All at Once got 1 vote, and Glass Onion got none. So people are just freaking loving Multiverse of Madness over here.
They really are. What a film.
It's got some good stuff as far as editing goes, but I think we both kind of prefer other movies in regard to editing.
One may say.
Can you send me my vote?
Yeah, here.
I got it. Thanks, man. This just in from all the way from Portland, Oregon. My vote for best editing. It's very small. I can't even read it. Funny joke. It's Bullet Train.
Whoa!
Whoa!
He really liked those character cards, guys.
I do. It was just something I noticed on second viewing. I was like, oh yeah, wow, that editing's good.
Oh yeah, wow.
Oh yeah, wow.
Man, oh geez. And I really hammed it up during our little talk about the individual movies. It may be obvious,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna read it off the card here anyway. It was Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Wow.
I just thought, wow.
Wow.
You know, when I'm watching this movie
Yeah.
and I notice that they are doing what they're doing, it's one of my favorite things about movies that I've noticed this year is that when I
Noticing
can
editing,
tell
yeah.
when I can tell that this is, you know what I mean? It's real.
Yeah.
Someone worked on it.
Somebody worked on this. Yeah.
That's what I value this year.
Do I flip a coin or do you? I forget who's doing it now.
I presented this
think
award. I
it's
will
you,
flip the
yeah.
coin. I got good luck, guys. Heads
it's-
for everything.
It's coming out Joshua this
Tails
time.
for Bullet Train. What can I say, guys?
I told you.
Every
statistically
time.
speaking,
Every
heads
time.
wins more often.
Heads. That doesn't make any sense in the world. But it did win again.
A double-edged coin, as I say.
You could.
Our
You
next
could say that.
category, a big category, I would say.
Well, big.
Something that people talk about more nowadays.
Indeed,
Uh,
indeed.
This category is best cinematography. I should have looked up a paragraph for cinematography to put it eloquently. Cinematography refers to the photography of a film. Cinematographers are a specific member of the crew of a film. We only have one written down here. Hoyt van Hoytema for Nope.
Yes.
Is one of the nominations. The rest of the nominations are the Batman cinematographer. That would be Greg Fraser. Everything Everywhere All at Once cinematographer. Cinematography. I have it on here somewhere. Hold on. Because I just want to.
The Hoyt van Hoytema film was Nope, by the way.
Yes.
I don't know if you said that. Or not.
I did, yeah.
Okay, I didn't. Sorry.
I didn't even wait. What am I looking at here? Oh, you put in Everything Everywhere All at Once after I put up
Yes.
this poll.
Oh no. What do
We
you
had-
have in the poll?
we before you put that in there, we had Black Adam in as a joke.
Oh, good. Get that out of the way.
And then we had For All Mankind in here as well, which actually got a few votes.
No way.
It did. Let me
Heck
just
yeah.
pull that up here. You talk about one of these films. I don't care what.
Yeah, I'll start with For All Mankind since I'm the only one on Earth
Oh, yeah,
who's
there
seen
you
it,
go.
except for the couple people who voted. Shout out to you guys. What a couple of beasts. For All Mankind is a TV show, first and foremost. So the budget is going to be lower, as is custom for TV shows for whatever reason, and it just, I think, it was able to create atmosphere for a time I never lived in, and was able to feel a little bit nostalgic about the early NASA days. The era, the everything is green. The Earth is still happy.
Mm-hmm.
The cars look cooler. The buildings. It kind of reminded me of The Incredibles. You know, there's
yeah.
kind of that
Yeah,
I keep saying geography. Architecture is the word.
Oh yeah, geography for sure.
Yes. It uses the rule of thirds, which is something I learned in photography class in high school.
Yes.
Yes. Proper picture.
Absolutely.
Basically making sure that there's always something interesting in the frame whenever you're looking at it. And yet in some cases it'll just be a slow moving shot of someone's front yard, but it's so peaceful and it's so serene, and it gives you a breather before the next argument between two important people. And there's a lot of CGI-esque space shots that the editors are working on and the computer animation people are working on. But just basically, they're able to convey your... You know what I mean? In a similar way to music, these people are able to convey emotion through visual means.
Yeah.
Specifically,
Absolutely.
Those serene moments, those tension-filled moments. The cinematographer is what you actually see, right? What they actually look at.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah,
there you have it.
for sure. The two people that voted for All Mankind were one, my mom, who has seen the show.
Yes.
And Megan Collins. Shout out Megan Collins.
Oh, yes. Let's go.
Great stuff. Yeah, I saw the first season and I thought the cinematography was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll talk
There's
about...
a specific shot that I could talk about, but I've already spent too much time.
You talk about Everything Everywhere, and I'll talk about the other two.
Okay, yeah. Everything Everywhere All at Once. I'm gushing about this film. So I'll just gush a little bit more. This movie, as I've said, is a smaller budget, a smaller team. And a lot of the credit goes to the editing, I think, in this film. But the editors wouldn't have anything if the shots didn't exist.
Ooh.
So, again, I will refer to the Notes on a Scene video on YouTube. Maybe I'll put a link in the description for some of this stuff. They talked about the shot of Jamie Lee Curtis jumping over the railing of a stairwell down onto our main characters, and all the work that went into that, and how, in a way... they worked very hard to find, because it's a stairwell, it's a very thin room, right? There's only room for the stairs. There's not anything else happening in that space. So they location scouted for a stairwell so that they wouldn't have to build a stairwell where they could pull the camera back and have this big shot of the entire stairwell, because the room is too shallow. You can't do it that way. Eventually, they were able to find a stairwell in a building, and they ended up using that building for the IRS building. It ended up being the set for most of the movie.
Yeah.
And so they found this stairwell that looked like a normal stairwell inside, but they were able to pull the camera way back and have this long shot of Jamie Lee Curtis flying down on people, screaming, and it just looks amazing. And again, with the editing, there's a lot of match cuts with people moving quickly, and you're able to hide that with the editing, but you have to build those shots from scratch with the camera. So that's what I would say for EEAAO.
EEAAO. Great stuff. We had The Batman, which it's really good. Cinematographer Greg Fraser. It's very detective noir. The cinematography is very intentional in how it contributes to the overall vibe of the film. It's got those like blurry edges.
It's like your vignette.
The vignette, yes. It just initially just blew me away. That film, in terms of cinematography. Everything else aside, perfect movie. Everything else aside, even just looking at it is worth the price of admission. It's just a beautiful looking movie. Everything they did with it's a dark, literally dark movie. Gotham is a dark place. It's always raining in Gotham, and it's always nighttime, and you're following a character that dresses all in black, and so it's a lot of blacks, the color blacks all the time. And that's a hard thing to photograph. And I think, especially when you see this film in Dolby Cinema, Cinema at AMC theaters, when they have very deep, dark contrasts. It was quite an experience that I can't even put into words.
Wow. And we saw it together twice.
We did. Twice. We saw it together twice?
Yes.
Did we?
Yeah.
When?
We saw it once at the mall, and then we went again after the wedding.
Oh yeah, you're right about that. Wow, we really like that movie.
We
It's
did.
really
We
good.
did. We loved that movie.
Yeah,
I saw
and
it
they did a
5
lot.
times, I think.
Yeah,
in
I think I
theaters.
did. I think I saw it 5 times.
I haven't seen it since I saw it in theater. I've only seen it in theaters.
I've seen it a lot more times.
There's a movie on
Absolutely.
HBO Max for the lady at your coffee shop. You're like,
Yes,
The Batman.
Batman. That's the only movie I've purchased on physical copy in a couple years. Actually, not a
Wow.
couple, like a year.
In the steel tin.
They did a lot with the volume, which, as I've said a couple times in the history of the show, big LED screens that they use for things like The Mandalorian. When Batman is standing on that building talking to Catwoman, and you see it's golden hour over all of Gotham, that's all real lighting because it's coming from an LED screen. And the volume, as they say, as I've heard people who work with it say,
In the industry.
yeah, in the industry, the volume works best for the lighting such as golden hour because you can't recreate the sun. But you can kind of recreate a dimmer sun at golden hour, so not full bright. Yeah, speaking of kind of darkness, Nope is the other nomination. There's a lot of nighttime sequences in Nope. However, there is also a lot of daytime sequence. The cinematography, I think, is notable because they're dealing with this massive alien object, and the way that when you're dealing with any type of CGI character, you're not photographing anything real unless you're photographing like a person in a motion capture suit. But a lot of the times you're just pointing the camera at the sky, as I know because I'm in the industry. You're just pointing your camera at the sky, and your director has to be like, yeah, it's going to be there. It's going to be coming from behind this hill. And can you photograph that, please? And they did that somehow. I don't know how they did it. Just making these beautiful frames, where then visual effects artists will put in the alien spacecraft or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a spacecraft or is it an animal itself? You'll have to see the
Whoa.
movie, I guess. But you can watch lots of videos about how they had to basically reconstruct the entire sky because a part of the alien is like it lives in a cloud basically, and this cloud is stationary in the sky this whole time, so they had to make the sky, and they shot nighttime sequences in the daytime and all this kind of stuff that doesn't make sense to me. Very impressive. Very impressive. Go ahead and speak on that.
So the nighttime sequences in this film, almost all of them, are shot in the daytime, and they used infrared technology to
infrared.
create the other hues, the colors of nighttime that we can't see with our eyes very well because the light that we use is visible light, and the light in the nighttime, not all of it, but most of it is infrared, and you get these violets and these purples, and you can notice that in the film. A lot of the shots are these dark blues, these purples at night, and so they shoot the scene in daytime with infrared light, and then they can edit it and bring up the gamma, which is one of the filters, and it looks like nighttime because they're using the light of infrared, which is more purples and blues, which you see at night more often. So they're able to create nighttime in the middle of the day, which is very ingenious and special. And it's the reason it won for me. Newsflash.
No way. Dude.
That's true, it is. Nope won Best Cinematography for me.
Surprise, surprise. Look at that.
There it is. We're at an hour and a half, by the way, so let's
we're
freaking
getting this going.
speed up.
Joshua's vote is for Nope. I'm getting the audience vote here. You guys thought the Batman wins, and I would agree with you. I had them both written here. I need water. It's over there. I can't
Do
get it
you?
right now. But yeah, the Batman wins both audience vote. The Batman took it away at 57%, followed by Nope at 21%, For All Mankind at 14%, and Black Adam at 7%. Because of that shot of Dwayne Johnson.
That is a funny shot.
Big forehead. Did I do this one? Oh yeah, I'm gonna flip this coin here.
Yeah, nice. I really thought you were gonna forget again. I really saw it coming.
Be a good bit. We're heads for Nope, tails for the Batman. Wouldn't you know it? Heads takes it again. Nope wins.
Let's go, guys.
It's terrible.
Sorry.
It's very worthy. Very worthy.
What can I say? I offered tails originally.
This next category will be very quick. Go ahead and give it to us, Joshua, as the one person who knows.
This next category is Best Foreign Film. Woo. There is only one option because I saw one foreign film. Jordan saw none foreign films.
No, I don't know, man.
The one nominee that everybody loved this year was All Quiet on the Western Front, which is the third rendition of a film based on a book wrote shortly after World War I.
Yes.
This movie is based it takes place in the German army, as they are so excited to join the war effort and think they're going to have a fun adventure with their college buddies. And they sneak away without the consent of their parents to join the war. And it's war, guys. They're in the trenches. They're in the mud. Their buddies are dying around them. It's horrible. And it's the realities of war and how people manipulate other people to join a cause they don't even care about. If you know anything about World War I and to a lesser extent World War II, these large trench warfare fights were over just the most disgusting, unusable land. They traded hands multiple times. The Western Front specifically went back and forth on like 100 yards of land for 9 years, and then the war ended. But like 3 million people died. So just like absolutely useless waste of time. But they were able to make a ton of money on building all these guns and bullets and stuff because war is profitable. Yay. So just stupid. And this movie shows how stupid war is and the horrors that come with it. Specifically, the end of the war took place at 11/11 on November 11th for fun. These guys were like, oh, that'll be poetic. And so the last day, all the way to 11 a.m., there's 11 hours before 11 a.m. That take place. One of the German commanders orders his army to try to take another 100 yards of land before the war ends, because he's one of those generals that what does a general do when he stops being a general?
What would I do with a general who's retired?
Yes. So it's awful. I mean, the movie was good.
Good movie.
Yeah. It's anti-war, which is
there you go.
Good, I would say. So the winner is All Quiet on the Western Front. Me and Jordan agree, and so do you. Freaking congratulations.
The next category?
I'm gonna take this one.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna take this one because that one was lame. We're gonna take Best Visual Effects.
What?
The nominees for Best Visual Effects are Avatar 2, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
It's Avatar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Avatar. We don't even need to.
We'll discuss Avatar, and then we'll move on.
Yeah.
James Cameron.
You guys voted for Avatar. We voted for Avatar.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it's Avatar.
Avatar wins.
It's Avatar.
It actually was Tails.
Oh.
But that was you, so it's still Avatar.
Yeah, it's still Avatar.
James Cameron advanced human technology into the future
yes.
To make this film. So more so than anyone else could have possibly done.
It looks amazing.
So Avatar wins. It literally, like, it looks real.
Yeah.
Like, more than anything, like, I could watch Doctor Strange and be like, whoa, it's zombie Doctor Strange covered in a cloak of the damned.
And it looks
like,
awesome.
That's cool. But Avatar 2 is real.
Yeah.
Like, they just took cameras and filmed aliens.
Yes.
It's real. Like, there's no competition here, guys.
And Sigourney Weaver plays a 14-year-old, and you're like, yeah, that checks out.
Mm-hmm. Literally.
And they created whales, and you're like, yeah, those are real whales. So,
I saw them with my own eyes.
Yeah. That's
right there on the screen.
This just in.
Oh, snap. Here it comes.
Avatar The Way of Water wins, and it will win every real award there is. There's...
Regarding visual effects.
Regarding visual effects, yes.
Yes. It better.
It better. I'm going to have to edit out all these coughs. I'm really struggling.
Dude,
over here.
I'm keeping them in.
I'm parched, I got to say. You might need to take a water break. We're getting into the big names here.
This is a big five.
The things people tune into the Oscars for. They don't care about anything else except for these guys. Then the next category is Best Supporting Actor in a Leading Role, or whatever they say. I guess it's not leading role; it's a supporting role.
Best Supporting Actor in a Leading Role.
Best Actor in a Supporting Role is what they say usually. The nominees. Well, okay, this is an actor in a supporting role is an actor who supports the lead. Okay.
There it is. Okay.
The nominees are Andy Serkis for Andor. I mean, in Andor. Whatever.
What's that guy's name? Kino
Loy. Ke Huy Quan from Everything Everywhere All at Once. Dave Bautista from Glass Onion. And Brian Tyree Henry from Bullet Train. All very strong performances. I'll just say we all agree.
You winner by unanimous decision.
Unanimous decision. You guys and us. Here it comes. It's flying in. It's Andy Serkis as Kino Loy in Andor. He took the world by storm. He made a speech about being rebels, one way out.
One way out.
And everybody loves the Everything Everywhere, the line where he's like, I would love to do laundry and taxes with you or forever or whatever. And everybody loves that. I think Dave Bautista is hilarious in Glass Onion. Brian Tyree Henry is fantastic in Bullet Train. But Andy Serkis in Andor is truly phenomenal in every sense of the word.
That's
and
an actor
give
right there.
Give the man an award. He's never gotten an Oscar for his performances, even though he definitely
probably should have won one in Planet of the Apes, huh?
Should have.
One of those.
Nobody cares about those movies except for me. So
bummer.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
I know the feeling.
It's yeah. It's one of those things. I'm of the opinion that it's the most underrated blockbuster trilogy of all time.
Wow. What about the prequels?
It's really good. Not underrated. Spectacularly overrated by a lot of people.
Hard truths here today.
What's that next category, man?
Dude, the best supporting actress. Would you believe it?
Dude, what?
The best supporting actress is an actress that supports the lead.
Yes, there you go.
We have Angela Bassett.
Good names here, man.
From Black Panther. We have Sadie Sink in Stranger Things. Denise Gough in Andor. And Chris Marshall from For All Mankind.
Who's that?
She plays a captain in the Navy. She's the first woman to lead a mission to Mars.
That's
she's the first woman to lead a mission for NASA, and she's flying to Mars.
There you go.
Shout out. And the winner is, by way of the people.
By way of the people.
Is Sadie Sink from Stranger Things as Max. We love Max. If you watched our Stranger Things episode, you will know that we hit her with the S tier and the character tier list.
Only next to Lucas, right? Her and Lucas are up there in the S tier.
Yes, absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
Together, they are strong.
She's fantastic. I love her
And-
performance in Stranger Things.
It's very, very good. She's in the Whale, which is not
Oh, yeah.
receiving as good reviews as it was getting hyped up to be.
Yeah, the hype was real, but who knows?
Hmm. I think the hype is for Brendan Fraser, who we
Yeah,
all
for
love.
Yeah, he's great.
Um,
Deserves
my
more.
winner,
Oh, yeah.
my winner for Best Supporting Actress is Angela Bassett from Black Panther, playing Queen Ramonda of Wakanda.
Have I not given everything?
Yeah, seriously, come on.
And it's Denise Goff for me, man. Dedra from
Dedra.
Andor. Truly terrifying, but you want her to win, but you also
So-
think she should probably die.
At the beginning, you want her to win because she's a woman in a man's world, as
And
they
then
say.
you're like, oh, she's crazy.
But she's just as evil as all of them.
Yeah. She's very well written, and the performance is just amazing. So, you flip that coin
I gotta
over
flip
there,
this
buddy.
coin. Honestly, I hope you win this one.
I hope so, too.
Just for the sake of the coin, because
Statistically
this is
speaking,
ridiculous.
I should win
You
this
should have
one.
won half of them. Oh! Hawaii!
Yeah.
It's Tails!
The Tuskegee Airmen.
Denise Goff from Andor. Congratulations. Well done to her. You'll love to see it.
The nominations for Best Actress
Oh, in a
are
leading
as
role.
follows. In a leading role. Keke Palmer. Nope.
Kiki!
Michelle Yeoh. Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Michelle.
Zoe Kravitz. The
Zoe.
Batman. And Amber Midthunder from Prey.
Whoa. Whoa!
And nobody saw that, and nobody knows that name except for me.
Is Prey a TV show? Is that the TV show?
No, it's a movie. It's a Predator
Oh.
prequel movie.
I see.
Set in America, but it's during the early days when it's
Many,
you know,
many moons ago.
the indigenous people, and there are some really bad white men that come around too. So,
Classic.
should I give you the? Let's get the audience vote here.
Yeah. That's what we've been doing
What do
this
you
whole
think?
time.
Who do you think it is?
I know who it is.
Oh yeah, you can see that too. No way. How can you see it? It's right here in my hand. You can't see this.
Oh, you're right.
It's Zoe
Do I have
Kravitz
it?
from The Batman with
Oh.
50%, followed by Keke Palmer with 30%, Michelle Yeoh at 20%, and nobody knows who Amber Midthunder is. But you know what?
Bummer for Amber.
Here, incoming, my vote for Best Actress in a Leading Role
Who could it possibly be?
is freaking Amber Midthunder, guys. I think
Wow.
you all need to
Congratulations,
watch
Amber.
Prey.
Maybe I should.
Because Amber Midthunder is very good at fighting a predator in the woods, in the forest.
Wow.
She's
You sold
very
me.
good. Very,
I'm
very
in.
good. Michelle Yeoh's pretty good, and Keke Palmer's pretty good, and Zoe Kravitz is pretty good, in my opinion. So there you go.
There
What
you
do
have
think
it,
about
folks.
this?
My winner for Best Actress in a Leading Role
Oh, yes.
is Keke Palmer from Nope.
Woo.
Shout out
That would be my
Keke.
second vote, yes.
We love Keke. The brother and sister relationship between her and Daniel Kaluuya is phenomenal.
It is.
And something that's, I think, a little underrepresented in media today is the sibling
the
love
sibling relationship.
relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree.
So, not sibling love, not like sibling love.
Right, that would be a different type of movie.
Yeah.
Not. Never mind.
Mhm.
Flipping a coin here.
Here we go. You got it.
and- Oh, look at this. It's Amber Midthunder.
Oh,
with the
she
tails.
steals the show
With the
with
Tuskegee
only one
Airmen.
vote.
One vote from me. That
She
should show
wins
you
it
how
all
good it is,
big.
and you should all watch it because it's on Hulu. So if you don't have Hulu, get Hulu and watch it.
I gotta find my password for Hulu. I got signed out.
What's
Moving on
next?
to the big category, Best Actor.
Yeah, men.
Man,
The real category.
shout out. I resent that. What
Yeah.
you just said. Okay.
We do have 5
oh.
here because before we put Daniel Craig in here, We had Joel Kinnaman from For All Mankind.
Oh, yes.
Just
That's
so you
what's
know.
on the poll. Okay. We have for the nominees, as a plane flies by my microphone, Robert Pattinson in The Batman, Daniel Kaluuya from Nope, Jude Law from Fantastic Beasts 3. My mom loves Jude Law.
Oh.
Daniel Craig from Glass Onion, and Joel Kinnaman, a.k.a. RoboCop, from For All Mankind. As I don't remember his name. Gosh, it's been too long since I saw that show. I gotta rewatch it, you guys. Okay, and
Jude Law did get one vote from guess who?
my mom.
Your mom.
Shout out Jude Law.
She loves Jude Law.
She really does. She loves him in The Holiday.
Oh, Jack Black.
Christmas movie, yes. I have here the audience vote
Oh, yes, here we go.
for Best Actor
Wouldn't you know it?
is Robertson Patterson.
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson in the
Pat.
Batman.
Robertson
Robert
Pat.
Robertson Pat in the Batman.
Great choice, guys. He's really
Thank
good,
you.
but he's pretty good.
Oh,
No,
he's pretty good.
He is genuinely really good in the Batman. There's a lot that is left unsaid, and it's in the quietness of his
So true.
performance. He doesn't say a lot, that guy. And he's very good at being the Batman and saying, "I am vengeance," and whatever. So
I think his Bruce is a very unique take on the character.
very unique take, yes.
For better or for worse.
I like Jude Law a lot in Fantastic Beasts. It's the only thing in that movie that I think is genuinely good.
He's trying so hard to
He
carry that
is-
film on his
he is
shoulders.
trying so hard. Daniel Craig is just he's so delightful to watch.
Mm-hmm.
You can watch him in James Bond, and he's this cool, sexy guy, and then you watch him in Knives Out and Glass Onion, and he's still a cool, sexy guy.
And
but
he's still a cool, sexy
he's-
guy.
It's in a different way, and it's just great. And yeah, we love Daniel Kaluuya. He's one of the best.
We're big fans of Daniel.
He's one of the best actors of his generation for sure. And yeah, I just love to watch him perform in movies, Absolutely wasted.
Sorry, this just flew out of
in
me.
Black Panther.
Just
Just wasted.
yeah, it's a bummer.
It's
That
a
was a
bummer.
bummer. And he's not in Wakanda Forever.
He's in
Is he?
prison or something.
Yeah, maybe he shows up briefly. And the winner is, by unanimous vote of us, the two
yes.
hosts
I
of the
have it too
show,
here.
the big dub is, let's say it together, Daniel Kaluuya. Yes, Daniel Kaluuya in Nope. I nominated and voted for both Daniel Kaluuya and Keke Palmer to lead in their leading roles to win their respective categories. And wouldn't you know it, they won them both. Actually, no.
Actually, they
Amber
didn't.
Midthunder won Prey.
Amber
What the heck?
Midthunder.
Amber
sorry, dude.
Midthunder won it all
But yeah,
big.
Daniel Kaluuya is phenomenal. It's a very reserved performance. He doesn't explode at the
Yes.
camera at all. That's usual, the Oscar bait performance with somebody screaming or whatever.
I've abandoned my child. I've abandoned my boy.
Yeah, yeah.
You
He's
know
very
what I'm
quiet, very reserved. He says
You've
nope
seen
a
that
couple
TikTok.
times and all that. So, the next category is best director. We have Ryan Johnson, director of Glass Onion, Ryan Coogler, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Matt Reeves, The Batman, interesting, and
What?
the Daniels, Everything Everywhere All at Once. I highlighted two of these names for the.
I thought you
audience
said they
vote.
tied.
Oh, that's why.
Gosh, this guy doesn't.
I'm so
Who is he?
unprofessional. So yeah, the audience vote. It doesn't really matter because it was a tie between Ryan Coogler and Matt Reeves. All of these
Should we flip a
directors
coin
are amazing.
for that audience vote?
Oh sure, yeah. Ryan Coogler's heads and Matt Reeves' tails. Let's see it for you guys.
It's heads.
Well done, Ryan Coogler. You win big money, big prize.
Big.
For you.
A quarter for you, Ryan Coogler.
Yeah. What am I doing? I'm just gonna be like, oh, here's my vote. It showed up,
Here we go.
and it's Matt Reeves from The Batman.
Matt Reeves from the Batman.
Incredible stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to say anything else because it's just so good.
Wow.
No, I don't
He
know.
can't even bring himself
I,
to speak.
I watched the full special feature thing on the Blu-ray, and Matt Reeves is just talking about the movie and stuff. And I'm like, holy cow, he's incredible. And there's part of me that just wants him to get recognition because he also directed both Dawn and War for the Planet of the Apes, which are some of my favorite movies that don't get talked about enough. He's a fantastic
They weren't
director.
in your top 10, were they?
War for the Planet of the Apes is my number 4 movie of all time, I believe.
Ah, there it is. Okay.
He has been making big budget movies for the past few years, Planet of the Apes and the Batman, and they don't fall into the typical conventions of blockbuster filmmaking. He puts his entire life and passion into these films, and he works so hard for them. And he had to make it during COVID, and it's just like he really just he did it. He did it. It's incredible.
Wow, he really did it.
Yeah, he did.
I gushed about it just last week.
Oh.
I rooted for this category. I nominated and chose to win Rian Johnson.
Oh.
From Glass Onion.
Incredible.
A great writer, a great director. I can't think of a single movie he's made that was bad or controversial in any way.
Yeah.
Well liked by
You
everyone.
haven't even seen Looper. We gotta watch that.
I know, I gotta watch
It's
Looper.
incredible. He's an amazing director.
And so that was my vote, Rian Johnson. I talked about it at length in last week's video, talking about Notes on a Scene, again, by Variety.
Yep.
That's not right. Vanity Fair.
Vanity Fair. Something like that.
And how he lined everybody up to create a scene and force you to feel the perspective of one of the characters, and how it just opened my eyes to how much a director really has to do, more so than just the individual performances of the actors. He's building the entire thing, right?
Yeah. And we know because we're in the industry, so that's
as members of the industry, we really know what it takes.
I'm gonna flip a coin here. Heads for Rian Johnson, tails for Matt Reeves. Oh, the Tuskegee Airmen strike again.
Oh no,
It's Matt Reeves.
Matt Reeves.
Batman.
I respect that. That's a good movie right there.
It's a great movie. Is it my favorite movie? We'll find out.
Well, we will right now.
Right
in
now.
the category, the final real category. We have some fun little deals coming up.
Yes.
In the final category, the big one,
Here's the big one, guys.
Best Picture, the best movie that came out this year that we saw this year. Obviously, you can talk about all these other movies that people made like 3 days before the end of the year. They're released for Oscar bait, as they do every year. Recency bias abounds in the Oscars, I will say.
Absolutely.
So I think it's important to recognize movies that took place at any point in the year. And these movies are as such. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. The Batman. Glass Onion. Top Gun Maverick. Yeah. And a surprise entry, a TV show, and I would have put For All Mankind in here because the third season released this year, but the first 2 seasons are old, and I don't know, I didn't feel it. So we have those there. The audience vote.
Oh, here it is.
They voted for the best movie of the year, the best film of the year, the best
Whoa.
picture of the year. And they voted for The Batman.
Wow. Everybody's loving Batman. 50% of you guys. So, only half of you, I suppose.
But more than anyone else.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, I can get behind any of these for Best Picture, really. Well, I don't know. I don't think Glass Onion really makes Best
I don't
Picture.
think Glass.
But there are other 4 I definitely could get behind. This was a really tough choice for me. Top Gun Maverick wasn't in the initial poll, and then I had a moment the other day where my vote came to me in a letter from the side of the screen here, and I read it, and it said Top Gun Maverick, and I thought, you know what, that is correct.
Wow.
It's literally my favorite movie of the year, and it's so close between the Batman and Top Gun Maverick. I saw
honestly a huge surprise
I know, dude.
to me.
I know. It's crazy. I literally, I haven't even seen the first one. I'm never going to watch it. I tried to watch it one time. I was like, this is bad, and I turned it off. I'm never going to watch it ever. But Top Gun Maverick is just a phenomenal film. And it was really hard for me to choose because the Batman is equally as phenomenal. And I'll probably, I don't even know, because I've watched Top Gun Maverick so many, just as many times in theaters and so many times after. It was a movie that was like, I wanted to watch it with anybody and everybody that I could. Like I saw it by myself, and then I took a couple of my friends. It's the only movie I've seen with my family in the theater together in years. I really wanted my dad to see it, and so I went with them, and we watched it outside on a projector screen for my friend's birthday, and it's just it's very Tom Cruise. It's very self-indulgent. It's very I'm Tom Cruise and I'm freaking awesome, and you're going to watch me be awesome, and you're not even going to care because it's awesome. And
Wow.
it's big and it's loud, but there's a lot of heart to it. And it was literally it was the first movie I've ever seen, and was like, I can't wait to show this to my kids someday. Like it's a movie that I think will genuinely be something people watch and that will inspire people like me. Like as a kid, when I watched movies and was like, wow, I really like movies. It's gonna be one of those movies for a lot of people, I think.
Beautiful.
I think it's timeless. People complain about the fact that they never tell you who the enemy country is that they're trying to thwart. Like there's never a flag on screen. They never tell you who it is or what country they're going to. It's just faceless enemy, which is like some people complain about that, but I think it's kind of a way to just keep your movie from going out of date or
right.
and it's you don't want to, if they were fighting China or somebody, they probably wouldn't release it in China, right?
Exactly.
So it's a money thing too, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's just I've watched it so many times. I watched it again last night just to make sure that it was my favorite movie of the year, and I was like, yeah, this is amazing. So you gotta watch it, and you might watch it and be like, wow, that was nothing to me, and that's okay. So
well,
there's that. That's my vote.
For me, here it is. This movie came out around the same time that Top Gun Maverick came out, earlier along in the year.
Mm-hmm.
Met with great reception. Everyone thought it would be great. It is being considered for Best Picture at the Oscars. But I feel like the momentum for this bid has fallen off as the year has continued.
Yeah.
But I only saw it recently. I gave it a 10 out of 10 on Twitter.
Yeah, break that down.
Yeah, okay, so here's the thing. Back a couple weeks ago before the winter break, I said there's no such thing as a 10 out of 10. I don't give out 10 out of 10s.
Mm-hmm.
There's
no perfect movie, he said.
There's no perfect movie.
If I have one nitpick, it's not a 10 out of 10. That's what you told me.
That's what I said. That's what I said. And then I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once, and I had no notes. It
Literally
was a 10 out of 10.
Wow.
And I put it up on the Twitter. You guys should follow the Twitter. Every time we watch a movie, we'll give it a rating out of 10 for fun, which is great. We have 3 followers, guys. Please follow the Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I watched it and I genuinely was like, I have nothing negative to say about this movie.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that it was too long. It has a fake out ending, and I was like, oh my gosh, please, how is this the end of the movie?
Yeah.
And then it wasn't. They even had 10 seconds of credits to really make you think it was over. And then it wasn't over.
Yeah, that's really
They like pull you back into the movie. It was amazing. I thought it was so good. As I said earlier, the editing, I knew that this was like a smaller team. And so the reality of that mixed with the beauty of the film and how well it was made and how much attention to detail and all the little things and being able to create this amazing movie with like 3 sets is just, I mean, phenomenal. So I gave it no notes. And I'm going to retract another statement where I said Interstellar was a 9 out of 10. I'm going to say it's a 10 out of 10.
There you go. I'm glad
because I don't.
Just give yourself the freedom to give things 10 out of 10.
I hate giving things a 10 out of 10.
I know.
But, I mean, I don't have a 10 out of 10 anime.
Sure.
Even my number 1 anime is a 9 out of 10. I gave Avatar 2 a 9.5 out of 10.
Ridiculous.
That's crazy. That's
I just don't
insane.
I just don't like 0.5 ratings. That's my thing. Is that if I'm gonna give a film 9.5 out of 10, I'm just gonna give it 10 out of 10.
But it wasn't a 10. But it was
I
better
agree.
than a 9.
I don't. Yeah, it's whatever. Yeah.
Well, you
I know
watched
what
it
you mean.
again, and then you said it was worse than a 9. You gave it like an 8.
I gave it 10 out of 10. No, wait, No, you're right. I did give it an 8.
You gave it a 9, and then you...
Yeah.
Or no, you gave it a 10, and then you gave it a 9.
Did I? I did, yes.
You
I
gave
gave
it a 10
out of 10 for pure...
Because that's
just
what started this whole
for
argument.
pure immersive experience, which I'm like, I still stand behind that.
Because you were sad when you walked out to the overcast
Oh my
Kansas
gosh,
sky and had to
Just
get in your
disgusting.
Subaru.
Disgusting. Gosh. I did want to, well, you flip your coin and we'll decide the official winner
Oh, yeah.
of
Oh, my
Best
gosh.
Picture.
The official winner of Best Picture.
Top Gun Maverick or Everything Everywhere. Let's see.
Oh! That went flying.
Oh,
It's gone.
oh
my
no. Drama.
I'm gonna have
Pause
to
for
flip it again.
commercial break as we find our quarter.
We hit him with another ad.
Hey guys. It's Anchor.
Okay. I flipped it again.
Uh-huh.
It landed.
Okay.
Heads.
It's heads, everybody. Very well
Everywhere.
deserved.
everything,
everywhere, all the
everywhere, all
time.
at once.
Never again, all the time, all at once.
Forever and ever.
Forever and always.
Wins Best Picture of the Year. Get wrecked, everyone
I did want
else.
to address the Batman after
Okay.
many repeat viewings. It's one of those things where it's a 10 out of 10 for me, but it's also not. Like I do have I have one note. I have one note, and it's the scene at the end where it's like, I'm the Joker and I'm here saying a joke. You want to see
yeah.
a sequel, everybody? And that's my one note where I'm like, I just don't. I'm sure it was a studio note where they were like, you got to put him in or whatever.
Yeah.
You got to put the Joker in there because people love the Joker. But it does have a few moments of like, oh, this movie's over now, and then it keeps kind of going. And so that's why it has gone down a bit, just a bit. It's still pretty much perfect in my eyes. I have a whole script of a video that I've been working on forever.
All
and I'm
year.
probably never gonna finish. I will eventually. Now that I might have more structure.
Now that you're into the industry.
Now that I'm in the industry. But the show's not over, guys. We're just gonna blast through some fun categories.
Yeah. Some extra stuff.
Some extra stuff.
That was polled as well, actually.
'Cause I got some things to say about some of these, man.
You're up, by the way.
I am up. Our first of our bonus round. We have worst picture. Worst picture. I hate all of these films. The nominees are. Actually, I don't even hate all of them.
I was going to say,
Black
you
Adam
don't
that much.
hate Black Adam.
No. I hate this one, though. Jurassic World Dominion. Literally terrible. And then we have Black Adam. We have Obi-Wan Kenobi. And we have a movie called Amsterdam. And I think I'm the only person who saw it. And I wish I hadn't.
Isn't that the movie Taylor Swift gets run over by a bus?
Yes. Let me just break it down for you really quick. I'm not gonna spend that much time on Amsterdam. star-studded cast. You got Margot Robbie. You got Christian Bale. You got Rami Malek. You got Robert De Niro. You got Zoe Saldana. You got Taylor Swift. You got John David Washington. You got Anya Taylor-Joy. You got the
Leslie
Austin
Odom Jr. in
Powers
there?
guy. I don't think so. Many more, okay? This is the most boring movie I've ever seen in my entire life. I never use the word boring to describe movies. I usually am just like, oh, the pacing was off. This movie is actually genuinely boring. It's a really, really boring movie. I couldn't even describe the plot to you if I tried. It's incoherent. It's literally just, I saw somebody describe it as like, it's like all the popular kids at your high school put on their senior play and they're all popular, so everybody was like, oh, this will be good because they're a star-studded cast of popular jocks or whatever. And then it's really, really boring because they're bad at acting.
It's just bad.
It's just
Rough.
bad, really bad.
Rough.
And just here comes the votes, okay?
Here it comes.
Here comes my vote and the audience vote because we align. It's Jurassic World Dominion. Jurassic World Dominion is the worst movie I saw this year. It's literally, there are no dinosaurs in Jurassic World Dominion. There are dinosaurs. Let me just be clear.
Oh,
The movie,
just a lie.
this movie, this movie, revolves around giant grasshoppers. Okay. The central antagonist of this movie is giant grasshoppers, not dinosaurs.
Like,
you
is this like a plague of locusts?
Yes, a plague of giant locusts from the Cretaceous or Jurassic period. I guess it would be Jurassic.
Whoa.
It is so easy to make a dinosaur movie. Just have dinosaurs in it and have the plot revolve around dinosaurs. The dinosaurs are an afterthought in this film. And it's not good in any way. The performances are bad. CGI is bad.
And they brought back the old actors too, didn't they?
Yep. They're all bad. Laura Dern is trying her best. One of the best actresses I've ever seen, Laura Dern. Just terrible. Jeff Goldblum, terrible. The other guy, terrible.
Not Jeff Goldblum.
Chris Pratt, terrible.
Oof.
It's so bad. What do you think about the other two here?
Well, I didn't see Jurassic World because I couldn't care less
Yeah,
about
it's bad.
Jurassic World. I saw the first Jurassic World and I thought, this is a Jurassic Park movie. And then I never cared about it again.
It's actually pretty good in retrospect.
Amsterdam, I didn't see. Obi-Wan, look, guys. Say what you will about everything in that show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate it.
I know.
I didn't put it on this list.
I know.
I don't hate the show. I think Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen love those characters to death. And they got a bad script.
A really
except
bad
for
script.
Except for like one moment.
Mm-hmm.
The editing, the cinematography is terrible. It's so lazy.
Literally
That's
bad.
my biggest thing about the show. It's obvious that they thought, let's make a show about Obi-Wan and bring Hayden Christensen back. And then they didn't think about it ever again.
Yeah.
until the day of shooting. They're like,
right.
"Oh my gosh, wait. We have to make a plot
to make this
for this?
Yeah.
We have to do this?
Who else is in Star Wars? Princess Leia. Put her in there.
Throw her in there."
Yeah. Why not?
With the worst chase scene ever yet put to film.
It's so bad, dude.
But it doesn't matter to me because it's Star Wars, so
Yeah,
screw you guys.
Whatever, man.
I still liked it a lot. It's just lazy, but what
Yeah, it is.
they were able to come up with something. I still care about the characters, which is,
I don't.
that's
I care
my fault,
less
I
about
guess.
Obi-Wan.
Kumail Nanjiani is in it. He's my
And
favorite.
he doesn't do anything. They forgot
my
about
favorite
him. They
comedian.
forgot his character exists.
But yeah, so Black Adam was worse, you guys. It was the worst. It was the worst thing I saw this year. I knew I wouldn't like it when I walked into the theater alone, and there were
Right.
2 other people in there. I knew I wouldn't like it, and I watched it, and I thought, this is bad. And then it ended, and I thought that was worse than I
It's a
thought.
bad movie, yeah.
And
But I think it's pretty fun.
I think everything that Jordan likes about this movie comes down to Dwayne The Rock Johnson worked very hard to make this movie.
No, it's
and
not.
he admires this passion project.
That's not why I
And
like it.
It is.
I think it's admirable that he, and it's different now because so much has changed in the DC Warner Brothers world. Dwayne Johnson essentially tried to take over DC Films by conducting a coup of some kind.
Yes,
by being like,
including
I'm the
crime.
biggest, best guy you've ever seen in my life, and I'm gonna take this thing over. I think it's just I want to support people who have passion, and whatever. And that's what I don't want to bash creators.
Mhm.
And so I think it's admirable that he wanted to make something and he made it. I think the movie's fun because it's silly and ridiculous. And I think it's hilarious that he tried so hard to make this. He worked and he thinks it's the coolest, most badass thing you've ever seen in your entire life. He thinks he is just magnetic. He thinks he's the best actor you've ever seen. And he's just not. And I think it's just so fun to watch because it's so bad. It's just fascinating.
And it's funny to me because he is playing the least Dwayne The Rock Johnson character ever.
Yeah. Surprisingly restrained.
Yeah. And it's just you're playing Black Adam, bro.
Yeah.
This guy's a freaking killer.
He's a Shazam
And you're Dwayne
villain.
The Rock Johnson. Yeah. You gotta be a beast. And he's like,
he does
kill
kill a
babies.
few people. Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Yeah, so
we should flip a coin, I guess.
that was my vote. Jurassic World Dominion won the popular vote as well. So you are vying for Jordan's Tuskegee Airmen here.
and there it is.
You know it. He gets it.
Tuskegee Airmen.
That's fine by me.
the
they're
worst
probably
movie
worse.
of the year. Jurassic World.
Dominion.
Okay, we can go faster now. I've had my rant.
Biggest flop. This is a slightly different category, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
These are movies that were expected to be good that were bad.
Yeah.
So you have a separate list, right? No one thought Black Adam was going to be great. Everyone
Except for
hoped
Dwayne.
that Obi-Wan Kenobi would be great. Everybody thought it would be bad, and it ended up being bad. These are movies that we thought were going to be great and weren't at all. Thor: Love and Thunder. What a bummer.
But you love it, apparently.
I don't
It's the
love
best
it.
movie ever
I don't
ever made.
love it. I think it's mid. You don't put words in my mouth.
You think it's amazing. You think it's the best movie you've ever seen. You have
It's
the
the
poster on your
greatest
wall.
poster ever, but it's not a great movie. I just like gore, okay?
Probably one of
The
the worst
God
parts
Butcher,
of the movie
not-
is gore. The God Butcher.
That's so sad for you that you think that. The next nomination is Black Adam.
yeah.
We have Uncharted, the Tom Holland Uncharted.
Yes.
I love Uncharted. The video games are fun. Nathan Fillion did a fan film with Crotch from
oh yeah.
Avatar,
I didn't know that. That's cool.
and he plays Sully. I
That's
love
amazing.
that short. Is so good. It's 15 minutes long.
That's a great casting.
It's so awesome. Nathan Fillion is the perfect Nathan Drake, and they chose a child
they
to play a
clearly just thought
30-year-old.
Tom Holland's big. Let's just big as in popular. He's very small.
Yeah.
But he's popular. Let's just it's National Treasure. It's Indiana Jones. It's Uncharted. I guess. Let's do it.
Yeah. Every rendition of Nathan Drake is like, this is my last mission.
Yeah.
I hate it. I am done with this. I gotta save my brother. Right?
Yeah.
And then here comes, I'm a
Let's go,
child
guys.
who steals rings from girls at
go.
the bar.
Yeah.
I hate it. It was so dumb.
Let's go.
And then
it
we
has,
put,
I'm Mark Wahlberg and I'm Sully
Yeah.
and I'm. I hate Mark. Wahlberg.
Oh,
He's bad.
wow.
Not as a person, just as an actor.
Oh. And then we put a Strange World in here because Disney didn't know that they made this movie. They forgot that they made the movie.
Yeah.
So they didn't put any ads out there, so it flopped hard. Yeah. So the audience voted, despite me.
Yep.
And voted for Thor: Love and Thunder, biggest flop,
67%.
the worst Marvel movie of the year.
That is true.
I will agree to that wholeheartedly. Sadly. And if you couldn't tell, I voted for Uncharted. Very, very disappointed in that movie.
Shocking that it came out
Um,
this year. It feels like it was made 10 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was a COVID delay, but we're
Yeah.
gonna say it was this year.
I think it was January of this year. So, I mean,
Yeah.
this year, I suppose.
Whoa.
I gave it to Black Adam because it literally flopped financially.
So true.
And flopped by being bad and flopped by essentially putting an end to the DC universe as we know it. Bringing back Henry Cavill only to be fired the next week.
Yeah. A couple months later.
Yeah, so.
It's terrible.
Yeah,
Poor Henry.
Bummer for
But
Henry.
he's got Warhammer,
He's doing Warhammer. He's doing his passion project now, so let's hope it's good.
so that's hype. There's a series of videos on YouTube that explain all of the Warhammer 40K lore. And it's like 8-hour videos, and it's just titled "The Beginning, Part 1," 8 hours long. And I'm like, I need
That's the
to listen
stuff.
to this.
Yeah.
I need to listen to that. So I'm gonna try to get into Warhammer lore. I won't play the games. I don't care about the games or the minifigures. I'm not gonna paint my own minifigures. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are
you
but I'm
kidding
interested
me?
in the story. So hopefully that'll be cool, and I'll get hype for Henry Cavill.
That's another level of like you
That's like
paint your
beyond
minifigures.
nerd.
It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 40-year-old dad level.
right.
Civil War reenactment.
Not that
in the
it's
basement.
bad. You can do whatever you want. But
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have my own interests.
of course.
What were we talking about?
Best jokes.
Oh
Or
yeah.
I guess we should flip a coin for biggest flop.
Oh yeah. Let me flip this coin for
Flip
biggest
this freaking
flop.
coin. Is this? I'm so excited.
Hawaii.
It's Hawaii.
Black Adam
Black Adam takes it. Biggest flop of the year.
takes it. Biggest flop of the
probably
year.
true.
I'm okay with that. I think that's all right.
Yeah, literally and figuratively.
Well done. Take us into the best jokes.
Best jokes. We got best jokes. Hilarious.
The best
Uh,
jokes. Ooh, wow.
We got Bullet Train. We got Glass Onion. We got Willow. We got Chippendale Rescue Rangers. I put Chippendale on here because I think it's actually a pretty funny movie. John
That's
Mulaney
the
plays
Kumail
one of
right?
the.
He's in there.
I don't know if he's not Chip or Dale, but he might be in it. You remember how when they were making the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie and they released the first trailer and the Sonic model was terrifying and
yes.
the world was like, "Hey, you should change this," and they were like, "Yeah, okay, we will." In Chippendale Rescue Rangers, they go to like a Comic-Con type convention, and
Mhm.
there's this a booth, and it says "Ugly Sonic," and Ugly Sonic, the model from that first trailer, is there, and he's like,
Oh,
he has
no.
a big belly, and he's fat, and he's like signing autographs. He's like, "Yeah, I'm Ugly Sonic," and he has like like a smoker voice. It's
Yeah.
it's hilarious. There's a lot
That's
of good
funny.
stuff in there. J.K. Simmons plays a detective, Gumby, so that's pretty funny. I didn't vote for that movie, but I thought it was funny to
Oh.
put it in there. I put in here that I voted for Bullet Train, but just in.
Oh, no.
I'm actually voting for Glass Onion because I laughed
Ah.
more in Glass Onion. I do think the jokes in Bullet Train are really good, though. It's
Yeah.
really funny.
I think
movie.
what are they? Orange and lemon
Yes, they're hilarious.
are very, very good together. I think they work very good.
I'm
and Brad
choosing
Pitt
Glass
talking to
Onion. Zazie Beats or whatever.
what's her name? No. The she's in Blindside. What's that character? What's that actress?
I don't know, man.
She's in The Proposal. What's
Oh,
her
Sandra
name?
Bullock.
Sandra Bullock. Thank you.
Yes. Sandra
she-
Bullock in the blind
She's
side.
like just a voice in most of the movie, and
Yeah,
Brad
the
Pitt's making
handler.
jokes with her the whole time. I like that a lot.
What's
I
the
didn't
other
vote for
nomination
Bullet Train
we have
though.
on there?
This may not come as a surprise. In the recent weeks, I have been watching a TV show on Disney Plus called Willow, which is a continuation of the story of a Lucasfilm movie, Willow, from after the Star Wars movies came out. It's a while old. Young Warwick Davis plays a wizard who takes down the Crone,
Whoa.
which is a magical entity, and saves the life of Laura Dannon, the baby. This is the show, like, several years later. Laura Dannon is older, and they the crone is back and she's taken the prince and they must save the prince. The show is terrible. But every other week, one of the episodes is kind of good.
Uh-oh.
And it's one of those very confusing things for me because the show is bad. And that won't change.
There's no doubt about it.
Nothing can change the fact that this show is bad. But every once in a while, I really like an episode. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? And the world is interesting. The base is there.
Yeah.
George Lucas is fantastic at creating alternate worlds.
Mm-hmm.
But in this specific case, the script is bad.
Oof.
It's a bunch of millennials writing this movie, and you can tell.
Yeah.
It's bad. Like if they had, it might as well be a vlog channel. All of these guys are vlogging and making terrible jokes. But, well, not terrible jokes because they're my favorite jokes.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Here it is. So the reality is that it's so bad it's funny, and some of these jokes aren't really jokes. But I find myself laughing every episode.
Wow.
In one way or another. So the guy who plays Flash Thompson in the newest Spider-Man.
Yep.
I don't know his name.
Tony
he plays
something Revolori or
Tony
something
Soprano.
Like that. Tony Soprano.
He plays one of the a different prince who's a wimp. And he is betrothed to the main character of the show, more or less, because Warwick Davis as Willow is not the main character.
But it's called
of this
Willow.
Story. Yeah, well, it's called Andor. What do you mean?
Yeah.
And so he's very funny, and there's this character named Borman who is an actor I've never seen before. He's phenomenal. He's doing a very good job. These are the only two funny people in the show. Everyone else is trying to be funny, but they're like 30 and they're not funny. So it's just a bummer because I laugh every episode and then I cry from pure despair every other episode. So my vote is for Willow.
I love it. We have one final funny category here.
Are you gonna flip a coin?
I forgot.
Are you gonna flip a coin?
Here we go. Willow takes it, everybody.
Oh, let's go.
Let's go.
The first person to care about Willow, me, gets a dub. All right, and I have the honor of bringing in the final category of our joke category before the next category of categories.
No way. How long is this thing?
We're coming up in 2.5 hours.
Oh, no.
We have worst actor.
Oh,
now,
nice.
we didn't do worst actor, worst actress, worst supporting actress, and worst supporting actor. We just did worst actor because these guys are. We had enough bad actors that we could create this entire category. So here we go. We have Harry Styles in whatever Harry Styles was in this year. Probably
Don't Worry, Darling.
Don't Worry, Darling. Yes, he was good in a war movie that took place a couple years ago. I don't remember. Dunkirk. Yeah, he was in that. I didn't think he was bad in that.
No, he's fine.
But he was very bad in Don't Worry, Darling. And there's a lot of fun drama that goes along with that. So
yeah, it's a whole cultural thing.
Yeah. I picked Warwick Davis from Willow.
Nice.
Or nominated, I should say. He's just phoning it in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Chris Pratt comes in. I'm guessing this is for his cameo in Thor: Love and Thunder, since you hate that movie so much.
Oh, sure. But also Jurassic World, and it's also kind of a meme to hate on Chris Pratt. But I think he's a fine actor, but he definitely just showed up to get that bag in Jurassic World.
Get that bag.
He's pretty good in
get that bag to my dad the other
Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. He's pretty good. But my vote and one of the audience votes. The audience tied for two of these guys. But my vote goes to Ezra Miller, who's just actually kind of like a bad person, and is literally
that's the main reason he's on here.
Literally a criminal. He's not super good in Fantastic Beasts. I think it's kind of troubling that we are still just kind of like acting like it's fine because
Yeah, let's do Flash, guys.
we're releasing this Flash movie, and he's literally on the run from the federal police, federal government.
It's the last chance for Warner Brothers to make money in the
Yeah.
last 2 years.
If they catch him, or they're going to prison. So, that's not great. So, it's a bad situation. The audience was split between Harry Styles and Ezra Miller. And nobody has seen Willow, so you're alone on that. But Warwick
True.
Davis, let's flip this coin here.
Dude,
Oh wait, no, it's you. You flip that
it's
coin.
me.
Yeah.
I'm going to flip it for Warwick. Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller. Congrats.
I think that's all
Friend.
right with me.
Yeah.
There.
It's unfortunate. But good for them.
Okay,
Uh,
and now we have a finale, our grand
Yeah,
finale.
Grand finale.
Our own categories here. I have 2 categories that I brought to the table for my specific tastes that are specific to me and may not even include Jordan's own interests.
Yes.
As of yesterday, certainly not.
Yeah.
Brutal, by the way.
Sorry, dude.
I came with best world building. You guys know, if you've listened to probably any episode of this podcast, you've heard me mention that I love world building.
Yes.
It's like every time I drink milk, I say I like milk.
Do you?
It's good. I do. I love milk.
It's all right. I like chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk's good too. It's
Yeah.
milk. What do you mean?
Well, it's chocolate. Regular milk
best-
is bad.
Best world building.
Oh, okay.
All right. I went on the own tangent. I'm cutting it off. I have 4 categories for best world building, or 4 nominees.
Yes.
We have 12 Kingdoms, which is an anime that came out in 2002.
Oh,
It's an honorable mention. It will not win.
okay.
But I had to put it on here because I watched it this year, and my God, was the
Fantastic.
I learned.
As good as milk.
Yeah, as good as milk. We have Strange World,
Oh.
which brought in some beautiful world building
I
for
suppose.
the creature we lived inside. We have 4
Big turtle.
All Mankind,
Oh.
which created an alternative history all on its own, with new social issues and different economics and all that sort of stuff, which is very complex.
It's very cool.
So very, very well done. And Avatar: The Way of Water, which continues to build upon an entire reimagined world. And spoiler alert, because I couldn't give it to 12 Kingdoms because it didn't come out this year, we are going to give it to Avatar 2. And I'd just like to briefly mention here, when I drive home from work at 6 a.m.,
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the road, I'm listening to music, I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, or I'm talking about social issues to myself, because that's the best time to rant about things in life. And one day I talked at length about James Cameron's vision, and how cool it is that we can see this guy's, what he dreams about.
Yeah.
What he sees in his world that he's created, how he sees it, how he envisions it, what the people sound like, what the people look like, all of it, the shapes of the rocks.
Mm-hmm.
It's all there in his imagination, and we have brought it to life. And I think it's the most real art form there is being able to truly see what is in someone's mind.
Sure.
In its purest form. And so Avatar 2 freaking rocks the house
It does.
in that respect.
We're getting the sequels, guys. We're finally profitable. We crossed $1 billion in the box
It was like
office.
1.5 billion the last time I checked.
We made a
going up.
profit.
They're up.
We're going into the sequels.
And it's going to be, I don't know if it's already in China, but it'll be released in China, and that'll be the big bump.
Oh, yeah.
If it hasn't already been. And then we have Best Anime. Now, this was an even more difficult category because of the way that the seasons are structured. So each season takes place over 12 weeks, roughly. And so seasons of these shows are either 12 or 24 episodes. Again, sometimes they're 13, so you get seasons with 25 episodes. It's all very random. So some shows, and the way that they're structured, you have the winter season starts in January, and the fall season ends in December. So you have some shows that if they're a week long or short, some of them will overlap years. And so a couple of the shows I have nominated started in 2021 and ended in 2022, or haven't finished their first season yet. And so it's a little bit tough to single, and the shows that did start and end in the spring and summer seasons were not good enough to make this list.
I see.
Okay. So these are the nominees. So we have
Nominees are-
Comey Can't Communicate, which is a show I've mentioned previously.
Yes. I know this
Blue
one.
Lock, which is a show about soccer. We have Mobile Suit Gundam: The Witch from Mercury,
Oh, very nice.
a banger show.
Sounds cool.
And we have 86, which is titled The Number 86 hyphen the words 86, which is a show about people in robot spiders fighting robots
Nice.
that also look like spiders, sort of. And I have to say, the winner is Comey Can't Communicate, a romantic comedy. I'm in on the romantic comedy, guys, but only if it's from Japan.
Wow.
I don't like
Very specific taste.
normie. Well, I don't know. I haven't watched any K-dramas, but that might be good too. Regardless, Comey Can't Communicate is a very good story about social anxiety and dealing with that and the pressures that come with being the most beautiful girl in this high school.
Oh,
So, it's very good. Not that I can relate to being the most beautiful girl in high school, but it's good.
that's great. For the sake of a segue here, we got my little
That's great.
my little categories. I didn't do the work ahead of time for these.
I did pester him several times to do the work ahead of time,
Yeah.
and he did not.
I did not, but I have 3 categories now. As of right now, I just added a third one. One category I've ranted about it enough, but my most personally offensive piece of entertainment, something that angered me so much as to send me into an existential crisis. My 2 nominees were Obi-Wan Kenobi and Jurassic World Dominion. Far and away, it's going to Obi-Wan Kenobi. I have to give it to him. I have to give him an award. The show is not actually that bad, but it did genuinely affect my well-being for a number of hours. Just like
That is rough.
it was like a period of just anger and just
Yeah, dude.
absolute
remember
disbelief.
As this show was being released, you just like every movie we reviewed, you were like, I hate it.
I know.
Everything sucks.
Well, I went through the like 5 stages of grief. Like the first couple episodes that came out and we talked about, I was like, yeah, this is pretty good. Like the denial stage. Like I was like, yeah, I'm with them. Let's see where it goes. This is not. It's pretty good. Let's go.
maybe.
And then it was just all the stages, whatever they are, anger and bargaining. I was like, just help. Give me anything. I will give you whatever you want if you just make
Where
good
is
Star
Hayden
Wars.
Christensen?
Where is Andor? Give it to me. And then finally acceptance. I have accepted the fact that it exists, but there will always be trauma, and I will never
Yeah, there
watch
will.
it again. And I genuinely hope they never do anything like it again. And I'm glad they made Andor, because if they didn't, I would be a very sad person. In regards to Star Wars, it doesn't actually have that much effect over my daily life, but like
Every day, I lie in wait.
yeah.
Praying.
Awake. Best recent discovery or most potent recent discovery. We've been my wife Sam and I have been watching through Grey's Anatomy. It's my only nominee for this category. But I just have to. I'm gonna put it in here because we did a top 10 TV shows episode. This show will be going on my list. I love it so much. It's very similar to how you described Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where it's like, for Grey's Anatomy, guys, the first season is like peak, and it's as good as the show gets. And then there are 18 more seasons, and it's like 18, and it's still going, and it will never end. The first season is probably still the best, and there's 18 more, and it never returns to as good as it was when it started. But it just you can't look away, and it's just constantly entertaining, and it's great. I should talk more about it sometime, I think. I should do an in-depth episode on Grey's Anatomy. I'm adding a category here last minute because I started reading comics this year, and just to commemorate my favorite comic that I read this year, although I didn't read very many, but I would like this to be a category that I do every year because I would like to keep reading comics. I think Civil War 2 is going to be my favorite comic that I read this year. Civil War, the first Civil War comic event is very similar to what we saw in the movie. The Sokovia Accords of it all. They call it, in the comic, it's the Superhero Registration Act, is what they call it. And it's backed by Tony Stark, and it's very similar kind of ideologies where Captain America is like, nope, I'm not doing that. And Iron Man's like, but we probably should. And they fight about it for a while. Somebody dies, Giant Man or somebody dies.
Giant Man, no.
Civil War kind of takes that same concept in a kind of larger scale way, where there is the Inhumans and the Terrigen Mist. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, absolutely.
The Terrigen Mist turns this kid into an Inhuman. His name is Ulysses, and his inhuman power ability that he's given is, at least what they know about it at the beginning, is that he can see the future, essentially. He has a vision where he's like he sees the future, and he sees bad things happen, and so he can, he has a vision where Thanos is coming to steal something, and a bunch of Avengers get killed, and so he's able to kind of tell the Avengers that that's about to happen, and they're able to kind of prepare for it and stop Thanos when he gets there. Or so they think. They essentially use him for that ability, and then Thanos shows up, but in a way that they didn't expect, that was different from his vision, and actually killed more people than originally thought. And so they discover that Ulysses has these visions of possible futures, not the decided future. So the scenario is, for example, one of the scenarios is Ulysses has a vision of Miles Morales, Spider-Man, standing over the dead body of Captain America. And so Captain Marvel is on team. We need to arrest Miles Morales and put him in prison, essentially, to make sure this doesn't come to pass. And Iron Man is over here on the other side saying, you can't arrest people for crimes they haven't yet committed, right?
Right.
That's the whole debate, is it's like in the Winter Soldier, the Project Insight, where it's like, should we, if we have the ability to use an algorithm to...
Or Moon Knight.
If we can see, this person's probably going to do something bad, should we act now to prevent that from happening, or is it a innocent until proven guilty type of situation?
Right.
Anyway, all that to say, very compelling comic that I read. Big fan. So
beautiful.
Yes.
I think we did it.
That's a long one, guys.
It's long.
I hope you guys listen to this.
I'll be editing this down.
Yes, please do.
Marginally.
You can take out
we're at
so much of this.
We're at 2 hours and 45 minutes.
That's not to be unexpected.
It's almost as long as Avatar.
Yes.
If people aren't going to go watch Avatar, you think they're going to watch this?
Nope.
No. Thank you guys so much for coming
If you
to the
did.
Quarters 2022. If you're still here, we love you.
It's
with all
probably
our
as
hearts
long
and
as the
minds and
actual
souls.
Oscars, which is like
Maybe.
a 3-hour
Maybe.
television program.
Yeah. We're going to do this every year because we're going to do this podcast for the rest of our lives
That's
forever. Unless they stop making movies, then we'll be free.
Yeah. Theater shut down.
Well, that, you know.
Anyway. Anyway, we can wrap this up, please.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We don't have plans for next week, so we're going to have to fix
No
that.
idea. Yeah.
But we're recording this a week early, so we have plenty of time.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening and watching and seeing and believing these movies. Go watch movies. Go tell us to watch movies so that we have more nominees than Black Panther, The Batman, and Glass Onion next year. And maybe it'll be more diverse next year. We'll be able to bring you guys a ton of movies to nominate. Maybe even boring movies that nobody cares about that win Oscars anyway.
Yeah. The Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah. Hey man, Barry Keoghan's in that movie.
I
like
watched
Barry.
the first few minutes of it. It's fun.
It's a long movie, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. I didn't finish it. So I don't know. Anyway.
Regardless, this episode is now over. Boom.